I'll take you to the candy shop. I'll let you lip up. And then I'm back in the Impact Theorio studios, not because we're talking about Tom Bilyeu, but Tom Bilyeu is talking about me. Just kidding, he's not. But I did come across him while looking for the topics for tonight, which are going to be Mikayla Nogueira gets divorced and no one gives a poop. Then Aubrey Marcus having a baby. What does that mean for his third girlfriend? And 3, the big story of the night. James Van Der Beek's wife. Is she crazy? Yes. Why is a family who has millions of dollars of assets and property asking for the public's help to give them money? We're going to investigate and we're going to see, is this cool or is this annoying? And not only that, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's however you want to see it is how you'll see it with the GoFundMe after James Van Der Beek passed. However, his wife is on a podcast saying some interesting things that I think we could soundbite. Let's just say that. She's got some interesting takes that is very similar to what we've heard on this channel multitude of times. And also, what was I going to say about her? I don't know. And I looked this up a lot in preparation for this stream, what James Van Der Beek's treatment actually was for his cancer. And I am suspicious that he did any traditional treatment maybe at the end, but based on he was very, very elusive about it and did not say or specify what treatment he was on. And given his wife's personality and beliefs, I'm now thinking, I don't know if he did any. I'm not sure. Well, we'll get to that last. I think we should start with some warm-ups. And then, thank you. Thank you for the turtleneck shout out. Yeah, I'm in a turtleneck phase. I'm in a turtleneck holes in my sweater phase. Mikayla, I've never talked about her because she's trying to be me by having half of my name, and I will not tolerate that on this channel. But I'm sure if you're on TikTok at all, then you're familiar with who this person is. I just think it's too funny not to make fun of, so here we are. Also, can I hear anything? Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
I've been an alpha female.
Okay, now you've heard it. Okay. So if you don't know who this person is, she's in constant controversy. She is a influencer. Okay. The very basic sense. She is a makeup artist. Okay. But in reality, she will hawk any product, specifically makeup and face wash and whatever, at you and lie about how it works. She will make up. Get it? Makeup. Oh my God. Freudian slip. Make up things about it. She will lie. She fakes an accent. She pretends to be from Boston. And has an accent that no one's ever had in Boston before. But she did a whole thing recently in the last year or so where she was sponsoring her wedding or something along those lines. And people were annoyed because there's a lot of, I don't know, it's like, are you actually getting married for love or are you trying to make money as per usual for this person? And then I think it has not even been a year, I believe, she is now announcing her divorce. So before we get to the divorce announcement, which is hilarious, let me just play a random one so you can get the idea. Okay, here's one with her husband before they got divorced.
Christmas, you filthy animal.
Okay, that's something. Let me find another one of them. Where's their wedding stuff? Here's another one.
Merry Christmas! It's time to set up my holiday giveaway. We are literally about to cover this entire...
I don't know if this is her house, but I think it is. which is insane. She's like 20 something years old and so rich. And she'll do these hauls also. That's why a lot of people are upset with her, including myself, where it's like, here's my closet. Oh, that's a bad accent. She's the one also that said Kim Kardashian. Okay. Here's my closet. I got Louis Vuitton. It's like, are you okay?
Floor.
And this year we have 7 major prizes.
We have the limited edition Point of View Holiday Pierre box, a beautiful brand new pink Chanel bag,
Pierre box. I'm telling you, no one speaks like this in Boston. I'm telling you.
3 $500 gift cards to Target and gift cards to Sephora, and as always, the holiday Dyson.
Okay, so a lot of consumerism. She's consumerism's final boss. Here's her closet. She makes the other one that I talked about, the Jackie, whatever her name is, who did the, I have caviar in my chicken nuggets, and no one likes my stuff anymore. She puts her to shame. Look at this is her closet, her makeup closet.
Made the extremely difficult decision to get rid of all of my makeup. Because I'm giving it to you! Every single one of these drawers is filled with makeup I've been saving for you. Everything you can imagine. And no, it's not junk. It's the good shit. A lot of bags to fill.
I don't understand the appeal of this person. Okay, one more, and then we're going to talk about her divorce. Where's her hauls? Here's her shoes.
Today's day one of having my closet professionally organized. They started by taking every single pair of shoes out of my closet and categorizing them on the floor. This took them hours. They spend a ton of time strategizing on how they want to organize the shoes by type, by style, by color.
That's
As
insane.
you can see, I'm a
one person needs that many shoes. It takes hours to organize. Fendi, Chanel, Fendi. These are things that most people will never own one of. Chanel in their lifetime. And they're crystal clean. Anyways.
Big sneaker fan. I have a lot of sneakers. I know I have a problem. Chorizo looks me in the face and tells me I have a problem. I absolutely loved looking at the high heels.
That's
Are you
insane.
kidding me? Look at these babies. They're stunning. Okay, then it was actually time to organize everything into the closet. And it was really interesting to see how they did this. How
can you not look at this in your camera roll and go, I am mentally ill? A singular person living in the world that we live in, and I'm going to post this and not feel any regret at all. And actually hate people who disagree with me that this is amazing content. So that's her closet. Here it is.
I am having my closet completely professionally reorganized, and today they made major progress. They started the morning by finishing this.
Oh, I'm glad they started the morning. Okay, here it is. Is it done?
Today is day 3 of having my closet professionally organized. And let me tell you, this.
Okay. That's it, I guess. She makes like 50,000 pieces of content.
Hired professional organizers to completely transform my closet. And let me tell you, it is a drastic transformation. If you want to see how it looked like before, I did a full tour in this video. Click on this comment. But this is the full reveal. I'm going to start with the drawers because this is where I see the most.
Okay, you get the point. Anyways, so why this is kind of funny that she's getting divorced is her announcement. I don't care either way about this person. I don't care about anything she does. However, this is exactly why people should hate influencers and why Tarot personally does, right? She says the reason why we all hate influencers is because they're so self-important. Her getting divorced is now a worldwide crisis in her mind. Okay? So here's the world's worst divorce announcement. Comments are turned off. You know that's going to be good then, okay? She found her light. She made sure to get her hair done and her makeup on for this devastating announcement. Okay, here we go.
Start this video by saying I appreciate.
She had to start this video.
I want to start this video by saying I appreciate you and I love you. and you're gonna want to sit down for this video. I am getting a divorce. Take a minute. Take it in.
I can't breathe. I'm so affected by this. How is she going to buy 400 Chanel shoes if she's going through a divorce? The world is not right now. Can you imagine? First of all, you don't love me because you don't know me. You turned your comments off because you don't love anyone so much. You can't even hear anyone's opinion, actually. You hate us all deeply. You only love yourself. Okay, I guess that's who she's talking to. All these influencers, they're looking at themselves in the reflection of their phone. That's why they're so easily able to say, I love you. I love you. I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. It's because they're looking at a reflection of themselves, and that's all they care about. Anyways, did we all sit down and take it in that she, Mikayla, whatever her name is, from Boston, is getting a divorce?
I am getting a divorce. Cody and I love each other so much.
Sure.
We love each other so much.
Yeah.
We would do literally anything for each other.
Except stay married to each other.
I want you to know that. I'm not going to be sharing any details whatsoever as to why Cody and I have made this decision. The main reason.
Yeah, sure. Until your views drop 1% and then all of a sudden you're like, tell it all about my divorce.
I am doing that is because I want to protect Cody.
Yeah.
Cody deserves that. We both want to heal. Mm-hmm. Cody deserves to be happy. Cody deserves to be happy. So do I. This is an extremely shitty thing. No one gets married to get a divorce. Absolutely no one.
She, however, got married to make money off of the event.
But what I can tell you is that this is very amicable. We talk every day. He comes over for dinner. He sees the dogs. Cody and I were together for 5 years, married for 2. And they are some of the...
Stand corrected. 2 years married. Sorry. So it's real then. Sorry, guys. I made their love seem like it was not deep. I was wrong.
Best memories of my life. Memories that I will cherish forever. And I do not regret a single thing, nor does Cody. I know there is going to be so much speculation as to why Cody and I are getting a divorce.
So much.
But I want to guarantee you that no amount of speculation, no one claiming they know why we're getting a divorce, no video from a T page or a drama channel knows why Cody and I made this decision. The only people that know why Cody and I made this decision
are my agents and the people who scripted the marriage in the first place. My talent company.
Is Cody and I. I just want to make that very, very clear.
So clear.
And one thing I want to ask is Cody and I are in this together. And I see a lot of times when people get a divorce or separate, people try to pit people against each other, pick sides. I'm asking you not to do that. Cody and I are in this together.
I would never do that to you, Mikayla. I love you.
Please don't pull us apart. Second thing I'm going to ask
Don't pull us apart.
you not to do
Don't pull us apart like a mozzarella stick. You can't do it.
that.
Sorry.
Cody and I are in this together.
Don't pull us apart.
Please don't pull us apart. Second thing I'm going to ask
That's good.
is Cody and I have been very open about his struggles with addiction.
That was the second part. You've been open about your husband's addiction? Great. You should probably be quiet about it a little bit more. I don't know.
And I'm going to ask you if you can please leave that out of the conversation. They are two separate things.
I know nothing
It
about
is
this.
had enough as it is to be an addict and to struggle to stay sober. What happens now?
I don't know what he's addicted to, but people were pointing out that there's like a wine shelf back here, like a wine rack. It's like, so I hope he's not an alcoholic because otherwise, well, I guess maybe they broke up, so it doesn't matter. But the first thing you do, you get divorced, you put your wine rack up. I don't know. Sorry. Just
Well, the
repeating
reason
what
I-
other people said.
I'm pretty put together in this video is because we made this decision last year.
Last year?
And I've spent the last few months processing this, a lot of crying, a lot of talking to family, friends, therapy.
But, okay, last year, we just looked at that Christmas video from this year when they were, like, pretending to be the happiest couple ever, so, yeah, right.
Everything you can think of to get to a place where I can make this video. Now I heal. I just want you to know that I appreciate the support that you have shown Cody and I over the last 5 years. You guys rooted for my relationship and my marriage so hard, and I appreciate it so much.
I did not do that, actually.
Cody and I are both terrified. We're entering a completely new chapter of our lives, an unexpected chapter, and we're embracing it. And even if it's terrifying, it's exciting too. Listen, sometimes
I think she's going to get married to or date some old man next.
life has different plans for you. And Cody and I have both accepted that. So what happens now is nothing.
Thank God.
I have been going through this with Cody for the past few months. Shit's tough. There's a lot of crying. There's a lot of emotions. But
Yeah, I'm sure. What?
I'm still going to show up every day. And I'm still going to do my cute little Valentine's Day videos I do every year. And
She's going to show up every day as an influencer. She's also famous for doing this video a couple years ago where she said, people are like, shut up, you influencers suck. And she's like, try it. Try it for a day. It's 5:15 and I just got off work at the influencer factory. It's hot out here. It's not easy. You can't do it. Only I can do it. People did not like that, obviously.
nothing really changing on the work side. I'm still going to be creating my beauty content and my makeup content.
I prefer you not,
But
actually.
I just want you to know I'm still here.
Okay.
Anyways, hopefully I've said everything I wanted to say. And I appreciate the support. And again,
Obviously.
please don't tear Cody and I apart, because that's not what we want. Love you.
She loves us! Ah! Okay, so that was her divorce. That happened a week ago, right? And then people were surprised that she was posting, Get ready with me, Valentine's Day! 5 days ago. So 2 days later, this is what she posts.
With me for Valentine's Day. I need to look so fucking hot tonight. Like, I deserve that. I literally just use a brow pen for my brows. And then for the makeup, wouldn't something like this be stunning?
No.
P. Louise. For the eyeshadow, ColourPop Smoke and Roses. I am so excited.
She's also famous as well for something called Lashgate, where it was the L'Oreal telescopic mascara, I believe, that she was paid to promote by L'Oreal, I believe. Allegedly, I forget the details, so I could be wrong. But then she did the ad and was like, "Look, here's my lashes before." And then she like cut the camera and said, "Look, now I put the mascara on," and she has fake lashes on, which is lying. Your lashes are not going to look like that if you don't put fake lashes on. But she did not disclose that, and she lied completely and has no shame about it whatsoever, and nothing ever happened.
Because it makes sense with my...
So that's what she's doing. I just thought it's hilarious that she is showing what influencers think collectively, which is that we need to sit down and really take in their their divorces and choices in life, which I thought was hilarious. So good job, Mikayla. Get a new name and then maybe we can talk. We'll do a bigger show about her at some point. I mean, I watch a bunch of stuff about her, and there's much to say. She is the epitome of the problem with influencers these days. Anyways, okay, let's go to the second smaller news. Big update in the world of Aubrey Marcus. You may remember Aubrey Marcus as the wild stallion of Eros that we all know and love.
I had a thriving wild stallion of Eros.
He's the guy who is formerly a supplement CEO. Then he started a cult, and then he had a wife, and then they talked about being poly. Actually, I don't know if they were married before. he was married to someone named Whitney, a blonde woman. And they talked about being poly and how much they love being poly. Then he met Vailana, who is this person, and he changed his mind and decided, oh no, I actually love this person and we are going to be monogamous. And the only reason I was poly before was because I was with the wrong woman. And then all of a sudden, slowly, then he was poly again with Vailana. We did a whole 2-part series on it where we watched the interview with Vailana, him, the girlfriend, Alana. And then now Vailana's got a guy that she likes, Josh, who's a white dread man who's a singer. Anyways, so we knew they were trying to get pregnant, Vailana and Aubrey. And now it seems like she is pregnant. So I have some questions. First question, is it his baby? Apparently, yes. But she was also sleeping with Josh and possibly other people. So we're assuming it's Aubrey's, but who's to say? And what does Alana have to say about this? And when is she going to be pregnant? Because I'm sure that's coming next. I'm sure this is not going to be enough attention for this couple, this throuple, this quadruple. And they're just too evolved to be able to just have a child and shut up for 5 minutes.
I'm dry. There's nothing more whole than a broken heart.
But first, before we go into all the details, thank you to some guy, 0000001. Some guy says, a bit late. This lip liner is wicked smart. Yes. You're better late than never, I say, some guy. And this is what I have to say to you. I hope you have voluptuous
Breast.
Also, here's my tip for you, some guy, and everyone else watching.
Go on Raya right now.
And also,
feels like penis.
That's what someone was saying when this baby was created. Okay. Thank you, some guy. All right. So here's the announcement. Vailana posted, Marcus population increasing by 1 soon. We found out Aubrey was fertile in July and decided to start trying in September. We had the most beautiful date night, made our prayers to the souls of our children we've been connecting with for so long. And just like that, baby Marcus came on our first try. Of course. They're perfect. They don't have to try multiple times like the low-level beings on Earth. They are special. They get to do things differently because they do sound bath healings. It was shocking for both of us. I feel like, honestly, this type of couple, this type of people, they want you to be jealous of them. They want you to be jealous that they were able to have a baby on try number 1. That is very important to them, that you envy them and want to replicate what they do and that you buy their courses to be like them. We had the most beautiful date night. Okay, wait. It was shocking for both of us. Definitely took a couple days to land as neither of us expected for our prayers to be answered so swiftly, consistently awed by the majesty of the mystery. It has been heaven on earth, savoring every moment of this miracle together. Everything was preparing us for this, the most important thing we could ever do. Thank you, God, for all of it. Okay, and then this is the ex-girlfriend of Aubrey commenting at the top. She's like, when's my turn? When's my turn to have a baby with Aubrey? Anyways, okay, so here's their image. Wonderful. Okay, here's a very weird video.
What are you doing?
Going pee on this thing to see a little earlier than we were thinking, but we shall see. My boobs are huge. Unattached.
Like, did we need to get you taking your pants off? I guess they cut the camera, but it's like, okay. And also, I'm surprised that they would believe in traditional a birthing stick. What's it called? A pregnancy test. Because some people don't even, if they're very spiritual in this, way, they're like, I don't even want the sonogram. I want to just paint a picture of what I know my baby looks like on the inside. Like, they go real extreme with it. So I'm surprised she wouldn't just trust in the universe that she was pregnant and didn't want to confirm it. But I guess they have a little bit of sense left, which is good. Okay, here's another one where she's digging in her pants.
All right. We're looking to see if we get a second line.
What is that one? What?
Alana's in the background causing a flood because she's pissed.
Kind of looks like 2 lines.
Wait, what? What? No way! We only tried for like once!
Okay. I don't love the baby voice constantly. I feel like she had a normal voice and now also she's ripped. Holy shit. The baby voice is very weird. Very weird behavior, I think.
No way! What?
I mean, is this real?
I did not think.
Again, like why am I getting an image of her pulling her pants up? Like cut that part. Okay.
Wait. Wait, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely 2 lines.
There's definitely 2 lines. Oh my god.
Wait, really?
Oh my god.
Wait, really? I don't know. Maybe I should do another one. Is there another one?
Yeah.
Wait.
I don't know if his reaction is a little concerning, perhaps. Maybe he's in shock, but you were trying for this, weren't you? Okay, now she's very pregnant, obviously. She's singing. She's very happy. She's loving her life. She's singing her songs on the pool table. Okay. And then you can see in the background who's recording this. The girlfriend, Alana. And he needed his own video. He couldn't just have his wife have a video of her dancing cute, pregnant. He needs his own video. He's like, Alana, I'm also dancing over here, babe. Can you see me dancing? I'm dancing really good. Put the camera on me now. My pants are hanging very low. What is it? Why would he post this? Because he's, you know what? Okay. Here's hopefully a doctor. Well, who's to say? I love when a doctor's got a hoodie on. It's my favorite outfit for doctors.
How's your pregnancy been? It's been beautiful. I love being pregnant.
Of course. No side effects. And if she had side effects, she wouldn't tell us because then she wouldn't be perfect. And there you go. So what's going to happen? I don't know. But they also, this was the announcement, right? But then, and I definitely didn't get demonetized for it. So whatever. It's worth it. They also made a haters clapback video to announce the pregnancy. So it's not enough to be pregnant on the first try, having the perfect pregnancy, no side effects. I mean, she didn't say the side effects. I'm just, making it a bigger, I'm dramatizing what she said, okay? But this is the real reason that they had the baby, that they're having this baby. So they're able to clap back at the haters. Okay, here we go. This is allow us to reintroduce ourselves, closing out this lunar new year with gratitude in our hearts and a new chapter on the horizon.
Family.
Ohana.
When things get hard and the arrows blot out the sun, they are there to fight with you in the shade.
You gotta have Jake Paul in this pregnancy announcement. Also, highly produced documentary for Instagram about your choices as a couple. Like, okay, cool.
When things are amazing, they are the ones who are happier for you than you are for yourself.
Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother
Or a sister.
Is born for a time of adversity.
RFK. Yeah, RFK probably will be the godfather. Am I allowed to make fun of RFK's voice? This baby is really cool. Sorry, I had a cough.
Not everyone is a friend or a brother.
Not everyone has your back.
And without adversity, you'll never know who's who.
Why are they making this video? Literally, they have a professional videographer and editor come to their house and go, okay, we're going to walk. You're going to walk hand in hand down the porch and say this line about how people on the internet are assholes. Okay.
So from our family to yours, thank you.
Thank you to all of you who have been with us on this ride.
Thank you to everyone who values raw, messy authenticity over carefully packaged conformity.
Thank you to all the
Oh, you have carefully packaged conformity as well. Don't you worry. You have it all. Also, who's this person? Has nothing to do with you.
Kola, whose prayers, blessings, and songs have strengthened our resolve and spurred.
Girl, I know deep down she hated this because she wanted the pictures to be beautiful and he's got to wear a buffalo hat. Again, I do not think he has any connection to Native American culture, which, hey, whatever, but interesting choice.
The ferocity of our desire to live in right relation with the land and all her people.
And you're welcome to everyone who used our story as a way to get attention and establish yourselves as more virtuous than us.
We are definitely seeing narcissistic behavior from Aubrey.
I was hoping so bad that they were going to use a clip from my video, but they did not. Am I not good enough for you? Can I not make the hater video? God, they use all their YouTubers, but everyone but me.
Marcus.
It's deflection wrapped in cultural commentary.
It is all a facade.
I wouldn't trust Aubrey Marcus with my life.
Red flag.
Don't worry, you'll have plenty more opportunities to show how sacred your masculine is compared to me.
And how divine your feminine is compared to me.
Because guess what? We're gonna keep putting our flaws, our mistakes, our art, our passions on display.
I just don't. Again, like if they were selling something outright and this, I mean, I guess they have their courses or whatever, but I don't think they even are selling anything. They just are so desperate for attention and affection from the public. They are trying to appeal to us. Please like us again. Please. Look, we're so cool. I don't know. We're going to spend 10 grand to produce this video to prove it to you.
For all to see.
We're going to give you every opportunity to stand in judgment of the way we choose to live our lives and build our family.
You may see a speck in our eye. Feel free to point it out. Just promise to keep showing us all the planks of judgment in your own eye. On our comment threads, please. It's great for the algo.
Yeah, but they turned the comments off on the video of them. Yeah, comment, but not on the videos that are actually going to be watched by anybody because we turned the comments off.
We aren't going anywhere, and we're only growing and getting stronger.
This next chapter is about taking a stand for the world we want our kids to grow up in.
A world where curiosity comes before condemnation.
A world where God isn't an abstract idea.
Shut up. I can't stand these people. God, just have your baby and shut up.
Yeah, it's a gnosis.
And you can start the conversation with a prayer, however you want to pray.
A world where we remember that we share the same beautiful mother.
A world where laughter, dance, eros, and song are the real currency of value.
Yeah.
But it's not all sunshine
Yeah, I'm sure money is... Eros is paying for your fucking mansions, I'm sure.
and rainbows. There is darkness in our realm, and we are always going to need those who are willing
To put on an iron shirt and chase Satan out top earth.
For anyone who
What was that? Bob Marley? Is that you? What's going on? That's Vailana's boyfriend, who I wonder who the daddy is. Okay, sorry.
feels the same way, we're with you.
And for anyone who doesn't, we're with you too, whether you like it or not.
So allow us to reintroduce ourselves. We're the Marcuses, and we're a family.
And we're a family, and we record ourselves having fun, performatively, so we can make hater videos for the internet. Okay, there you go. That's the video. So So yeah, that's the biggest news out of Aubrey. However, there is something else juicy, and I was gonna watch it tonight, but there's something even juicier, I think, and more timely. So we'll have to save it for another time. But I want to enter his contest, and I think we should, as a channel, enter his contest. Okay, and it's about this video. Jesus wasn't good? ? Here is a preview, or I guess this is. We're going to go backwards for a second, but this is what I want to enter next week, potentially. Okay, here you go.
We've got a contest. So last week's podcast turned into a surprising debate. And I really believe in debating your ideas. So allowing your ideas to compete like gladiators in the arena so that we don't have to compete and die in the arena. Our ideas can compete and die in the arena.
Listen. Linda, look, Linda. I agree with him. I think debate is extremely important, but turn your fucking comments on, dude. You can't debate people only when they agree with you. That's not a debate. Okay, sorry.
It's something that Jordan Peterson says often. So the contest is to take this last podcast that I did with Dr. John DeMartini and analyze it from a debate perspective. What were the points? Who won each point in your perspective? What do you feel about it? But really analyzing it from a meta perspective, posting that content, tagging at Aubrey Marcus, hashtag Aubrey Marcus Podcast. I'll check it out. And the winner will get a 5-night stay in Santa Teresa, Costa Rica at the Selva Resort in a beautiful villa. The reason I'm offering that is
Can you imagine if I won that and I was just in Costa Rica having the time of my life? That would be so awesome. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Prize is because Bailana and I are going to Envision Festival and we'll be speaking there and performing there. And I booked a hotel at the wrong Selva Resort. So you guys can now use that credit for anybody who analyzes this debate and does so in an excellent fashion. And I'll announce the winner and highlight your video or your post, Substack, on my page.
Amazing. Wild. I don't know. Okay. So that's what we'll be doing. This is a preview of that debate, okay?
1,500 cases of pedophilia.
And the children attracted the pedophile.
You really want to go there? Let's
Yeah.
go. All these things that we label good and bad have been labeled good or bad depending on who you're taking sides with. Even Jesus wasn't one-sided. There's a whole lot of text on there that doesn't show him that one-sided state.
He was neither good nor bad.
He was neither. It's like a fight to you. It doesn't match your belief system, so you're ready to fight and attack.
Your hands are shaking.
I'm not going to pacify my research for any human being on this planet. Nobody.
I have a really hard time with this. If I went home today and somebody was assaulting my wife, I would forcibly stop it.
Probably. Because you
not
would value...
probably, 100%
Well,
certainly. I wouldn't say, maybe this is his belief and this is my belief.
You're going to react in that
I think we should check if he's in the Epstein files, Mr. Martini.
setting exactly proportioned to your morality at the time. If you see what he's doing as evil, you're going to do what you can to stop him.
But it is evil.
In your perception, it will be.
Rumi is the same
In my perception, I think it's fine. That's always the subtext.
as the jihadist.
Rumi is, in his own way, is a jihadist in the sense of promoting his ideal. Yes, because they're trying to do what they think is God, as agonist and antagonist. And you're living and dying at this moment. You're killing yourself
You're
every
acting
single
as
day.
if I said death is bad.
It's not.
I didn't say
Neither
that.
is good. Is life good?
Neither is life good?
No, life has got benefits and drawbacks. Bringing some people into life is their torture. I always say anything you can't say thank you for is your baggage. Anything you say thank you for is your fuel.
I actually agree with you on that.
Thank you.
It's not okay to beat a child to a pulp. It's not okay.
Here we get into the controversial stuff. Aubrey, and I actually agree with Aubrey much more than Martini in this. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing, but in the preview. Here's what he's saying. There's a very thin line of like, I go, okay, yeah, I agree with Aubrey Marcus on anything, but compared to this weirdo, I guess we're aligned. He's saying it's not okay to sexually assault a child. I would agree with that.
Okay to sexually assault a child. There is something actually fundamental inside of us that is on a driving force towards life, love, freedom, the experience to live this beautiful world. And if somebody is intentionally interfering with that, we have an obligation to try and prevent or stop it.
The reality is that there's upsides to that event.
There's upsides to the murder of children?
Yes.
There's upside to the murder of children? Yes. I don't have to go to prison because they won't tell anyone.
There's upsides to it.
I think we're going to have to stop here, John.
So that piqued my interest, obviously. But we don't have time. We don't have time. There's too many crazies and too little time. But we'll get to it at some point. But that was I did want to talk about her pregnancy and the Marcus family tree growing by one. Ooh. Everyone, sit down, take it in. Congrats, you crazy kids. Okay. But the main attraction of the night, okay, the main story is James Van Der Beek. Okay, I have a lot to say on this topic. Let's start from the beginning. So James Van Der Beek is an American actor, most famous for starring in Dawson's Creek, Varsity Blues. He was in Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, which was kind of his most recent one. He's in another movie or show coming up soon. He's with Dancing with the Stars. And I think in 2024, he was diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer. He was very tight-lipped, as they would say, about his treatment plan. Now, that's not totally unusual. I don't think you must tell the public what your treatment for the disease is, but I find it interesting based on their life view, and I say they by his wife and his, about some of their affiliations. And I suspect that he probably in the beginning did not do traditional treatments. I don't know that for sure, but he was very beating around the bush about it when people would ask, what are you doing? He would say, like, everything. I'm doing a lot. I'm doing everything that you could think of. But yeah, there was a few reasons why I thought he had hair, which is one thing. And again, who's to say? But that was one kind of thought, like, okay, he may not be doing chemo because he had hair for a very long time. And we're going to watch a video, a long podcast with his wife, and we're going to talk about some of her beliefs. And I would imagine that someone that has such strong beliefs like she does would be very hesitant to want to go the traditional route of cancer fighting. But here he is. This came out a week ago when he passed away. There's also a picture, and I don't know what y'all think about this, but Carlton, you might remember him from, well, he's not his real name, but Alonzo from what's that show? The Will Smith Show. Come on, you know it. Not Saved by the Bell. What the heck is the show? Will Smith Show. Oh my God. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Oh my God. Okay. Alonzo, who plays Carlton on that show, took a picture with James Van Der Beek and posted it. And I did not love it. It was him, right? Or am I crazy? James, and I didn't see a lot of people talking about it, but I thought it was in poor taste. Okay, and I'll show you. I felt like, let the man have his peace. You know, do we need to make this a social media post? Like, I don't even particularly like when people show someone's hand that's passed. Like when Jessie Lee Ward died, people posted like her hand, and I thought it was inappropriate, to be honest, but at least it's more respectful. This seems very disrespectful to me. I think if you want to take this photo for yourself and for your own memories, fine. But to post it to the internet, a man's last final hours on earth, to gain your own, and I guess, it's saying, oh, I'm supporting his legacy. It just seems a little bit indulgent, I guess, selfish, in my opinion. Like, you're not even a family member and you're posting this very intimate, like, I wouldn't want someone to do that to me if I was ill like that. So anyways, I don't love it, but I don't think a lot of people said anything like negative, but it turned me off completely. Anyways, so he was diagnosed in 2024. He was fighting it somehow, unknown. And there's a lot of controversy right now because he was selling off his memorabilia, and that was kind of the headline. Like, James Van Der Beek can't afford cancer treatment, so he has to sell his memorabilia. And I'll show you what
I am getting
that
emotional
looks
right
like.
now.
I'm getting emotional too. Thank you, Healing Relat. Healing Relat. Upgrade their membership. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. Am I happy about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I not happy?
No.
Yes. Okay. Here is kind of the vibe. So you could, you still can buy it, weirdly. You can buy his jersey for $115. Okay. So the way the articles were written was, you know, James Van Der Beek is poorer than you might imagine. He needs money. The cancer treatment's wiping him out. He's got 6 kids, some of them very, very young, and they're in dire need of money. Then when he passed, the friends and family of him, of the family, the Van Der Beeks, did a GoFundMe. And it raised more than $2 million. It's like $2.6 million. Now, do I think that is wrong? I think no one's forcing anyone to donate. 2.7 now. However, I don't understand why people are donating to him. I get the family, the celebrities, the people who knew him in real life that want to help out and know them. I get that. But apparently, he owns a huge property in Austin, like 36 acres of land near Austin. Now, they were renting that space, and then they bought it about a month ago for like $4 million. Now, I don't think they paid it off in full, but there are other homes in the world. You know, I know they have 6 kids, but you don't need 20 acres per child. And apparently they also have a mansion in Beverly Hills. So I understand that this is hard, and I'm sure that they, you know, need money, but to ask the general public for millions of dollars, it's not computing for me. And especially when it seems like they were very into alternative lifestyles, which is, you know, I don't want my kids to learn how to read is the kind of stuff that this wife apparently is into. And interesting, they met in Israel, the couple. They met in Israel, and I guess they were very into Kabbalah, which is that, I don't know much about it, but I think it's a portion of Judaism that's more mystical. It was very big with like Madonna back in the day, and they wear the red bracelets. I guess they were into that. It's unclear if they were still into it now, but a lot of people have a lot to say about this guy and about what's happened. And I will say it's tragic and horrible. He was only 48 years old. He should not have died that young. He seemed like he was in great health. He did encourage people to get colonoscopies and to get checked, which is what he ended up doing. However, there is some weirdness going on with the family, in my opinion, and very related to stuff on this channel. So I found this guy, Cal Callahan. Okay, he looks like your run-of-the-mill grifter. Okay, he's got a podcast, and guess who was just on it? Mr. Tom Bilyeu, the star of last week's show, where he was talking about humanity taking 3 past humanity takes when AI replaces us. Okay, so he's, you know, in the typical company on this podcast. But we have his wife, whose name is Kimberly. I listened to the first 20 minutes of this before I took my nap this afternoon before the stream, and I was kind of shocked at how kind of out there she is. So anyways, let's watch, okay? And I think it's going to get juicy.
I can essentially find anything in you and me and work on it in myself, and then it manifests through you.
Huh?
Give me an example.
Like,
Okay, we're starting off strong. She's responding in light language. I will be capturing that. He's like, so give me an example. She's like, okay. So like I said, starting off hot.
Any broken bits, the whole universe exists in every cell, right? So everything is an inside job. If you're experiencing something that is broken, it's inside of my creation. So what Egypt brought me to is this one collective consciousness, viscerally. So I really experienced, are we recording? Is this the podcast?
Okay?
Yes.
Good, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
this is from 2025 January. So he would have already been diagnosed at this point. Also, this only has 3,666 views. Uh-oh. The devil is with us. So this is hot piping tea. The Tom one, guess how much the Tom video has? 70 views. God. He is thriving. Okay. All right, here we go. Put some shoes on, dude. Your foot is touching my shoulder. Okay.
Egypt. I viscerally understood.
I'm going in the middle.
This one collective consciousness, and it was like, I am you, you are me, we are all.
Ugh.
And so
and she learned this by going to Egypt. Okay, just so we all know.
I just understand it in such a tangible way right now that there's really no separation. And so I guess my healing crisis is being separated.
Okay, we're conditioned to be separated now, but
after Egypt.
This picture behind them, which is looking like Burning Man bullshit, says, show up. Show up, guys. Show up. Be present. This is a tent. I guess.
We weren't separate.
Yeah. And so basically, going around Egypt was really fascinating in that my body wisdom was just doing its own thing. Like my mom came. She started moving her hands in Hathor, and she's like, I'm seeing a map, and she kept putting her hand in front. Like, am I really seeing this? You know, there's something about Egypt.
Take her back to the nursing home.
That for a lot of people just awakens you into a remembrance. And for me, my remembrance was going into that profoundly deep, we are really creation experiencing itself.
Which is something that for most of us is something that's very just kind of esoteric. It's this idea. It's like, yeah, I get that, but I don't feel it. Maybe I get glimpses of it in a plant medicine ceremony where it's like, oh, okay, I see how this is all connected and but then unfortunately, it's pretty fleeting for me.
Yeah. Well, yes, it was very esoteric, and no, it's not. And so basically my experience is walking away from creation.
What?
And Egypt brought me back to the moment of creation, and now I'm walking away in reverence of it. So like walking backwards, almost looking at it in reverence of it and remembrance of it.
Of it being creation? What drugs are you on, lady? So we're, again, starting off hot. And again, she's going to talk in the next 20 minutes that reading, not important for children, especially her children.
It's changed everything for me.
Okay. I've got like 4 or 5 things that I wanted to talk about today, and each one of them, particularly with you, could be their own separate podcast. So I'll do what I can best to.
That's a grifter's favorite thing to say is, "Are we recording?" Oh my God, we were just talking like this, like without the cameras recording, because we just are such good friends. We just we just talk like on camera and off camera the same way. Also, we could do 25 podcasts with the information that you have. We must stay on topic. It's like, okay, you guys are talking about nonsense.
Steer the ship here, because that was the Egypt thing. Was I was curious about it, because Peyton, as you know, just got back from her amazing experience there.
It's big. I was just walking around and my body kept going like this and holding my hand like this. And it was like my subconscious was receiving all the information.
So what your one hand is
this
palm
hand up
out,
and this hand going like this.
and the left is kind of circling, tapping thumb and middle finger.
It just moved through me.
Wow.
Like, it's not like I thought, let's do this. I just found myself, what am I doing? Oh, I'm receiving information.
Yeah.
But from the inside out somehow.
Yeah.
By doing from the outside in.
Uh-huh. He's like, yes, that seems very real. I mean, I'm sure he's buying it because he has her on a podcast, but.
It is and it isn't. We are and we're not.
Well, this is perfect. This is like a perfect teaser for what we're going to get into.
Is it?
But let's start here because I've known you for, 4 years. We'll say, when did y'all move here?
Almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like we all met right.
And it was the thought that they came from LA, obviously, that they moved to Texas specifically because of her, well, not specifically, but for one of the reasons, the anti-vaccine beliefs that the family may or may not hold. But it seems like would make sense given this interview thus far.
About when you got here, fortunately, we ran in the same circles, and you and James have been, close friends since you've been here, and just been so welcoming. And your home and your land is this really special and sacred, and a great example for us of what it means to hold that space.
Yeah.
And I know some bits and pieces of your life prior to Austin, but I never heard it from you. So I'm really curious because you've had a really interesting journey, like most people have, but yours is like even, I think, a little more interesting than most.
Yeah.
You land in Austin, you have this amazing property. Y'all are like not quite living on the land, but you're living with the land. You're certainly in community with the land and amazing stewards, and really, really cognizant of what has been there in the past and how to honor that and the like. How did you come to land in that spot? And like, what was the journey like getting there?
Oh, let's see here. I'll give you the quick version, or we'll do the whole podcast.
Perfect.
And you just want to look at the house real quick. I had a video. I don't know where it went, but here is the house that we're discussing. Again, this family had asked for a GoFundMe that now is $2.7 million. This is what, okay, there's the family. This is on the property, I suppose. Here you go. Backyard. Okay, great. Okay, this is the inside living room. Looks humongous. What does it say? It's like $4 million. James Van Der Beek purchased $4.8 million Texas ranch for his family just 1 month before his death. It's 36 acres. They were renting it previously. Now they purchase it. They purchased it for $4.76 million off market. Okay. In addition to the main house, the property boasts, spelled incorrectly, boasts multiple cabins, a pool, and a backyard with river views. Again, I'm sad for them. That sucks. That's hard. But why do you think you deserve more than the average people? I don't know. These are the types of people who don't want to have, and I'm projecting a little bit. I don't know what they actually believe politically, but typically these types of people don't want universal health care. They want to have choice. These people don't want community measures. They want separation and land with fencing for themselves. They want an estate where they can do what they want, but they don't want the regular people near them. And so it bothers me that they're asking for help. Meanwhile, they've secluded themselves from all public life, but we're good enough to give them money. Okay, anyways, this is my own personal opinions.
there in the past and how to honor that and the like. How did you come to land in that spot? And like, what was the journey like getting there?
Oh, let's see here. I'll give you the quick version or we'll do the whole podcast.
Perfect.
I had been really yearning for an expansive nature experience.
Rachel
and
Hollis?
I grew up in the forest, you know, and my heart wanted back.
And she was raised by wolves, if you didn't know. Kidding.
With the trees. And I really wanted a place where the trees were as prominent as the sky. And I was on the hunt and I couldn't figure it out.
Totally.
During COVID, it became aware that even with my husband's job, we could actually live remotely. It introduced auditioning through tape and Zoom meetings and all sorts of things that really made the whole world our oyster and made these dreams like an achievable reality. And we kept ignoring all the signs that it was Texas. We thought maybe it's Nashville or maybe it's Atlanta, but on the outskirts. So we had our nature.
And is it because there's a pretty good film kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, like presence on the East Coast in that area?
In Atlanta, there's a huge film presence. And in fact, we were on our way to go have a conversation with our friend about moving to Atlanta. And I said to James in the car, I was like, yo, let's get on the same page. Let's ask for a sign, a very, very, very clear sign of where we're supposed to move. And he goes, okay, let's do it together. Our friend that was talking to us about moving to Atlanta answered the door, and he was wearing a hat with the outline of Texas that said Austin city limits. This was after so many Texas signs were happening.
I guess this is their shared delusion, their shared hallucination that she's discussing, that the person who wants them to move to Atlanta showed up at the door with a hat that looked like Texas. Is this a drug trip? I don't know.
And so finally we decide, okay, we're probably going to move to Atlanta. And that week I had 3 dreams to move to Austin.
What is the kind of the
pause, like she's like, can you believe it? I am that gifted and special that me, Kimberly, dreamed of moving to Austin. He just sits in silence.
content of these dreams? What is the?
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
At that point, James said, we need to honor your dreams. I'm a very prophetic dreamer. I get dates, times, very specific information. We've seen over the years it just happen, you know? So listen to the dreams. We decided to make coming here our anniversary trip. And then we, looked with a realtor all around, and we weren't going to buy land. We didn't know much about Texas or being in Texas. So how do you rent land? It's just not available. And that was clear when we came. And then right when we were about to get to the airport, we get a call that this very specific spot was available. And we came and we looked, and it was magic. And James tells the story much better. But on our anniversary, we took a little sunset drive, and we pulled over, and I'm like, why can't we have this? And I, do this grand gesture. And we took a photo for our anniversary. And he was like, I wonder how far that was from our property, because our friend happened to live down the road. We had looked all over Austin, but this house was just down the road from our friend. And James looked at that picture and was able to identify the trees you see going down our driveway. We were literally in front of where we would live. James tells this story way more magically than I do, but yeah. So, I mean, it's a very magical tale of how we moved onto this land.
I really think people who find themselves in privilege, they have a twinge for the mystical, they must explain to people how special they are, how chosen by God they are, and how everything in their life lines up perfectly because they deserve everything they have. This is what the goal of this is. I think it's subconscious, but they must have built-in guilt about having so much that they now need to prove to everyone via these stories of, oh, meant to be, that they earned it somehow, and they didn't just get lucky, that God selected them on purpose to fulfill their destiny or whatever the hell, and that they aren't just lucky in buying a property. It's deeper than that, you guys. It's not wealth and privilege. It's God's ordained will. And this comes up so often in these types of conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the transition difficult? I mean, granted, you have kids in tow. It's a big lifestyle change. Things are obviously early-ish with what was going on in 2020, 2021. And so it's probably a nice escape. But like, what was that like for you with the kids?
Well, we came home and we showed them a video of the land. They were so excited. It was really difficult to leave such incredible friendships. You know, we had planted some very deep roots in LA, but we did it. So the first thing we did was we gave our keys, we packed up our car, we put our 2 little chihuahuas in there, and then we drove 2 hours or an hour or so to pick up 2 more puppies, Pyrenees Husky mixes that we were rescuing to protect our 2 little chihuahuas. And we got in the car for a massive 10-day road trip, potty training puppies.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that wild?
Add a few wrinkles.
Yeah. So that was...
It's a little bizarre, isn't it? You randomly purchase or rescue 2 dogs to protect your chihuahuas and then drive across the country with them. Weird choice.
An adventure. And I would say the biggest thing I had to get used to, honestly, was being okay with not knowing where my kids were. You know, our little backyard in LA, I knew where they were at every moment. Is just sort of surrendering into their intelligence with nature and learning the ways in this wild wilderness here that is Texas, with porcupine quills and snakes and burrs and scorpions and so many black widows and brown recluses. And I don't know, what else do you want to throw in there? It's everywhere. We've had a wild boar on our land. And so, you know, getting.
Yes. For everyone that's showing up late, how dare you, first of all. Just kidding. Yes, this is James Vanderbeek's wife, Kimberly Vanderbeek. She's very sane.
Being used to just allowing the children to be taught by nature and not going into a panic and trusting the divine pinging system if needed.
I heard this earlier. What is the divine pinging system? The divine pinging system is going to protect your children from getting bitten by a scorpion? What does that mean? They gloss over it, but I think divine pinging system is intuitively knowing if your child's in danger. It makes me feel like, so if someone goes missing, a child goes missing, they're kidnapped, did they not rely on the divine pinging system? Seems a little, again, self-focused and unrealistic.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing.
Were they homeschooled before you got here?
So they were in a homeschooling co-op.
Okay.
Yeah. We had one at our house with other children, and then they attended one when I got pregnant with Gwen. I was like, yeah, no, not my house. Then they went to another one, and that worked out well for them. They came here, they tried a school. That didn't work out. We did some stuff at home. Now, this was during COVID. Teachers were gone. When I moved, I was recovering from 2 back-to-back near-death experiences and loss of James' mom. So we were a bit in a grieving portal here.
I want to hear about the near-death experiences. What does that mean? What happened?
And I would say my capacity to be the teacher and move onto the land and do all of those things was quite limited. So it's been a mix of magic and chaos and grieving for 3 years. And I feel like we're gently walking out of those fires.
He's about walked into another one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've kind of noticed just in our own journey with our kids and their schooling, it's all been different. It's it's really been difficult to thread the needle. It's like the intuition is, hey, let's homeschool, let's do this, let's provide this opportunity, and there's some things that aren't working necessarily for them, and so maybe we weren't attuned enough to know how to make that happen, or maybe they just needed to be around other kids in a different way, and as much as I rail against the education system, and I do think it's completely broken, it's not an easy alternative to go what your heart wants to do. There's a lot of complexity to it.
I've thought a lot about this. So for me with school, they're not all made the same, right?
Right. Okay. Here's a little context too about this. Why does it keep doing that? About the schooling, her beliefs here. So she says, Vanderbeek first applied the Finnish way of education with her eldest child. Olivia was drawing stories until the age of 7.5, and she was considered way behind in reading. I don't consider her behind at all. I consider her to be a creative child that just doesn't want to do that yet. Okay, so no reading until 7.5, she was behind. Then she clarified, I think reading is an incredibly valuable tool, so I don't want to sway somebody from teaching their kid to learn how to read, but my point is she didn't spend 4 years of her life slaving over it. Huh? She learned, and she's where every other kid is and where the other kids are at for her age. She spent all those years drawing pictures and books. Okay, so your kid's behind in school because you didn't teach them how to read. Got it. And this is her quote, while I'm saying these things, it's to inspire or expand someone's thought processes. It is not to invite guilt into your life, because especially our first child is the guinea pig. Great. Like Olivia, I used to put her on a swing in front of a TV so that I could sleep when she was a baby. I wouldn't even dream of doing that to a child. Like, how terrible was that? We all make mistakes. We do what we do. It's just another thought process to expand the way we think about education, because we're in a real interesting time right now where we can move into education differently with a different approach. As long as we're learning reading, writing, math, a kid can venture out where their passions are. Okay, but you're saying you're not teaching them how to read. And now they're letting their kid play video games. She says, I don't like them. I'm not a fan. But in February, my son said to me, Mom, I really want to play video games. My friends play video games. They meet up with each other on video games. He said, I have 4 sisters. I think it's time that you listen to me. And I said, you know what? It's time to put my ideals aside and include you in your own decision making. So for his birthday, we got him a Nintendo Switch. Okay, that's good, I suppose. Sometimes he plays games with his friends on there, and sometimes he plays on the iPad. Now, granted, I don't like it happening too often, but if he goes unchecked, he would play that thing all day. So for the first 2 days, he played it all day. On the 3rd day, he said, Mommy, I feel like I'm getting a little addicted to my game, and it doesn't feel good. Will you help me? Yeah, I'm sure that's real. I'm sure that happened. On days when he plays video games, his behavior changes for the rest of the day. I'm going to let him figure out what feels good and not in his body. Okay, good luck with that one. How do I now delete this? I don't know. Okay.
There are a lot of preschools that the way that they're designed will actually shorten the focus of a child, right? They're not designed around play. They're like, move from this to this to this to this to this. And it takes just looking at the Finnish education system to see that the focus part of the brain is developed when a child is focused on doing something they want to do. And sometimes that's just really imaginative play, and that helps create a beautiful lifelong learner. But
sometimes, yes, not all day long should they be imagining playing and not reading. And I don't know. I don't have kids, so it's hard for me to say. But I think a lot of kids don't know what the hell is going on because they're kids and they need structure and they need things to be able to do and say, okay, you need to read now. We need to do math now. We need to do this now. Otherwise, they would just like poop on themselves all day. Do you want that? No.
For here, there's this dance, right? you're wearing unlearn, which is beautiful and very important. And we're dancing with modern day society. And our kids teach us that we have to do this dance. We don't get to fully step out. We don't. And so I may look at some preschools a bit as prison, which is very upsetting to people because there are teachers that have their best interest at heart when they're taking them from subject to subject to subject. And it's very difficult to teach a group of children, you know, what's expected of them when they enter kindergarten, which is so much, you know?
Yeah.
The Waldorf system, for example, don't even start teaching the alphabet and reading until they're 7. But, you know, our modern day American schools, you need to be reading. So by then. And is the brain developmentally ready for that?
Yes.
A lot of people would say no. And then there's...
No, I think yes. 2 years after 7 is 4th grade. Kids are reading Harry Potter books in 4th grade. I mean, you can't start... I mean, I guess you could, but starting at 7 seems like... Yeah, wait, especially when the majority of the country is learning much faster, your kids are going to be behind for sure. And you need to read to do everything.
People like my daughter Gwen, that they're ready early. Like she's got that thirst, she's got that yearning. So there are consequences to taking a group of children and trying to teach them all in the same way. And as a parent, it really hurts when you're seeing that maybe something isn't the best for your child. And at the same time, you know, there's some children that thrive in this environment. So my daughter, Olivia, has chosen public school now. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I've done everything I can to get her to this point where, you know, these last years with her in my home are to really help her integrate in society in a way that honors her wishes while she's still living in my house and help her weave. And that's what she wanted. And she sent me a text a couple weeks ago, even having a cell phone, right? Weaving her into society in that way that I don't like. But she did. She sent me a text. She was on the bus and she said, I just want to say thank you for honoring what I wanted this year. I'm so happy every single day. I'm so happy. I can't even believe how happy I am. It was the sweetest text ever to receive.
She's so happy that her mom let her go to school. What does that tell you? Thank you so much, Mom, for letting me go out of the house to attend school. Maybe you should let all your kids do that. If they're responding that emphatically, maybe that's a sign that they need to be in school.
And she comes home and she does her homework and she's happy to do it. She's happy to do her homework. And I feel like she got so much play as a child that, you know, she had a birthday party. Her friends were complaining about school and she goes, school's awesome. You guys are crazy. School's
awesome. Can you imagine being at the home, being at my house all day instead of school? You guys are nuts. I love being out of my house.
Amazing. I just think she got to build up that appreciation where she's exploring a new part of herself in a new way and she loves it. Some of my other kids may pick that path and some won't. My beef with school is significant because
we know
it feeds into a lifestyle. You know, when mothers have babies, most of them are calling me saying, I feel so isolated. And we're not living as a village anymore, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to school to learn a trade, to spend our life working, to come home. And the way that we've set up life is around work.
Not her life, though. She doesn't have to work because she's got a GoFundMe that's allowing her not to have to work. Her husband worked. I don't think she may have worked at some point, but it's very rich. And I mean that in the non-monetary way. It's very rich for someone who doesn't have a job to say, the school system just sets you up to work and have to, you know, get a job. It's like, yeah, we all hate it too, but if we don't do it, we're not eating. So what do you want from us?
It's not really around family anymore. And
was it ever?
There's this deep, you know, animalistic mother in me.
She has 6 children, this woman, Kimberly.
That isn't being utilized in the way that we are living in this world. And that's okay because we're here to dance with others and in community. But it's like, why are we all doing it so separately?
I don't know. Why do you have a 36-acre property that you and your 6 kids live on and your husband at one point? You could have a whole community of people live there, yet you choose not to. How about you look at yourself and ask why?
You know, I want to wake up and I want to be with the land and I want to farm the land and pick food and cook and
good for you. That's
be
called
present.
choice.
And I have this like phone attached to me and I feel its presence and its energy wanting me. And I feel the emails needing me. And I feel like, you know, the 30 different portals I have for my kids and their school and their bus app and like the homework and all the teachers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, mothering now is like feeling like being a secretary and a professional driver. Like,
well said.
When did that happen? And okay, we can say fathers and everybody does that too. I'm not trying to even get into gender roles. I love working as well. And there's that other piece of me, right? That wants to work, that wants to thrive in business, that wants to travel the world. And it's like, how can we get these different pieces of us and dance and braid them together?
The solution is get people to give you money in the millions of dollars, and that will help.
I don't know. I was thinking about it on the way here
Come up.
because all are valid. And I don't think we've existed in this way yet. So there's the me that's like, we need to go back with our equality and relearn how to live with the land in a way that's very primal. But maybe that's not the future, right?
Duh.
I don't know what it looks like. All I know is that I'm here for the braiding and to like surrender to the desires of my children's unique souls and existing in the world and the reality of what it is right now and coming to like a deep acceptance with that. And yet also being a creator.
Beautifully articulated. And there's a lot that's coming up with that. You know, one thing I love that there are these different sides, in particular, this connection with the land and kind of living almost that soul's purpose. And we have everyday life that is a part of it. And
Again, what do they think? What does someone like this think that someone's life purpose is that is, you know, living in a city and barely making it? Like, do they think those people just don't want better for themselves, or they think they don't deserve it, or what? Because if your life purpose is to live out on the land and have millions of dollars of property, that's what God wants for you. What about everyone else? They just think that, we don't want things.
And it is that weaving. And I know that in my experience, when I find myself on both sides, and it's like just whether I'm over, trying to overachieve and get things done, and I get super into that energy. The good thing is now I can
Spit it out.
feel that sooner than I used to, and I can try to pull myself back into, okay, why am I really meant to be here? And it's not to just, sit on the open land and meditate either. It's helpful. It's beautiful. It's like, so how do I marry these two things and be
It's to have a podcast with grifters in my shed, my corkboard shed.
I don't want to say productive member of society, but be a participant in this game of life that there's a lot of questions. And, I don't want to get into simulation theory or anything like that, but like sometimes I just have to take a step back. Like, what the fuck is going on? And is this just a simulation? And sometimes that just gives me comfort. It's like, this is like, you start peeling back the layers of what's going on, what's out there right now, whether it's politically, whether it's what's happening in Hollywood, in the music industry, and all these different things. And on the one hand, there's a lot of cognitive.
This is giving man who has weed for the first time. Teen boy tries weed once. This is like, there's like stuff going on. And it's like confusing sometimes. Like, for real. Whoa. Okay. Thank you, Amy. Amy LX8RN. Thank you so much. Amy says, I want to do relaxing stuff all the time too, but I missed my window for a rich sugar daddy when I was young and spry. P.S. Tarot for president. There's no time like the present, Amy. You can always find a millionaire man. Their eyesight gets worse over time. The cataracts kick in. Just tell them you're 18. Tell them you're 17, actually, and you'll probably hit the jackpot, I'm sure, given the state of the world right now. Just tell them you have
my uterus.
A uterus. You have
My pubic hair. I don't shave my chochi.
Tell them you got this.
Vacation labia.
And then you'll be fine. And you'll be saying this in no time.
My boyfriend.
And also you'll be saying this too.
I am dating the most evolved human being.
And then you'll be doing a lot of this.
You're exchanging biofluids.
And then, but don't forget this one tip. They don't want you to know this one tip.
Don't you dare get married.
You can find these men.
Go on, Raya, right now.
But don't be this. Okay. Whores. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you, Amy. Good luck. And Tarot for president, I agree. I'm voting for you, Tarot. Do you have a campaign speech? No. She's a silent type. Okay.
Cognitive dissonance, I think, for a lot of people. I think for me, I've met enough people over the last 5-6 years that have opened me up to things aren't really what they seem, which is part of the reason I started the podcast. It's because things weren't as they seemed. We're just many more layers deeper now. And, you know, just having the ability to question everything, I think is super important. It's something I didn't learn until much later in life. Now, the risk in that for me is I do tend to question everything, and I tend to just not believe what's being told. And
well, that only applies to the things that they want and they believe in already. Vaccines, they're skeptical, but science, they're like, I don't know. But then, like, whatever the grifters say, they're like, oh, yes, I believe that 100%. Oh, yeah, so if you go to Egypt and go like this at a pyramid, you'll get knowledge if you put your palms out like this. They don't question that at all. Like, they say we question everything. You don't question those things at all. And question her going, shala kala shkrinala, before this conversation started. Question that, how about? Anyways.
now, sometimes, you know, I can get a little bit negative about it. Like everybody's lying. This thing's a whole charade. It's being orchestrated by a few that we don't even know who they are. And I can get wrapped up in that.
Me too.
And it's like, how do I bring that back to balance? Sometimes it's just like literally just putting the phone down, because you can go down those rabbit holes and they're going to feed you what you want.
So
how do I reground after something like that? And then
Also, I don't know for sure. I'm going to screenshot it. I'm pretty sure these small bottles are kratom, which is like a sobriety drug, they sort of market it as, if that's what that is. And it's making people totally addicted to this. There's people who are like detoxing from this actually and have to go to rehab because of this product, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
the follow-up to that is your kids are much younger than mine. Mine are 21, 18, and 17. Yeah. And so what dosing of, well, let's call it red pilling, do you give them? Because now my kids...
You're going to red pill your kids?
Are
Don't do that.
Pretty keen to what's up, so I can have conversations with them. And I need to still be careful because they can't handle some of the stuff that my other 50-year-old buddies can handle.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Well, I think the first thing is, because as I started unraveling what is into what actually is, it's a pretty deep awakening, but a deeper awakening is the one where you see that you're a creator.
Okay. You have my attention.
He doesn't know what you're talking
And
about.
you're living in your creation.
Mm.
And to take fierce responsibility over your creation. And there's no bypassing in that. It is allowing yourself to awaken as creation itself. And what energy do you want to move through it? So our shadow can work in very sneaky ways. It can work through an addiction to information that validates our rightness. Right?
Well, hand up on that one. Yeah.
How do you feel, when you're
the way they
going
speak
down these routes?
is so slow. This is what's on the table, looks like to me. Feel free kava products, tonics, capsules, and limited edition merch. Feel free toxic? No. Classic tonic. Kava root. Kratom. Yeah. Okay, this is the thing that people are addicted to, am I right? Feel free. They did a Vice article on this, I think. Addiction. It's not funny, but I put feel free addiction and it's like speak with the suicide line. It's like, I'm fine. I don't need that. I'm looking for the kratom addictions. Yeah. Yeah, they're saying that people are getting addicted to this. Okay, anyway, side note. They question that, how about? Question the things on your table right in front of your toes.
Rabbit holes. It's a dance, right? It's like you have to know, and yet the moment that it is controlling you, then it's time to like shift the dance a little bit.
Yeah, I actually do want to make this faster. It's hurting my head.
And so it's just becoming very clear and aware how things are moving in your systems and in your body, how you're digesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your body will tell you, I feel uncomfortable. I feel stuck here. I feel, the body systems really tell you how you're processing. And so be really, really aware of how you're maneuvering through the dance of life, because we chose to be here. We're here. And there's so much beauty in the journey.
I hate that motif as well. We chose to be here. We made a contract that also forgives you of all your sins of not giving back to other people, because it's like, well, I chose to be rich and famous and other people chose to be poor and die on the street. That's what they wanted before they came from heaven or wherever they think they came from. It's just another way to excuse any behavior that other people might judge them for, in my opinion. Thank you again to Amy. Thank you so much, Amy LX8RN. This lady is crazy because she's been in a bubble too long because of James's money. She's gotten detached from reality. Yes, this happens to many a person, and especially someone who's lived in LA and then lived in Texas. This is like the pipeline. They have money, they live in a bubble, they don't have to deal with anyone else. They go to these yoga retreats and these and I was never wealthy, but I was even getting in a bubble of, yoga world and wellness world, and it is a very small niche group, but it feels like, oh, we found each other, da da da, and you really do smell your own farts. And I think unchecked, now you're not teaching your kids how to read and you're not vaccinating them. And then your husband's dying from cancer. I don't know. Again, I don't know. He was his own person too and can make his own choices. I'm not saying it's her fault, but if they didn't do any traditional treatment because they were trusting in the divine pinging system to tell them what to do, that's sad, heartbreaking, honestly. So I'm with you, Amy. I agree. And for this, I say,
oh, okay, cult.
I don't know anything more cultish than that. Oh, it's a cult. This spells cult. C-U-L-T. Why does this sound cult every second?
Good questions to ponder.
I don't know who said this, but we are divine creatures having a human experience, right? So we have to remember this is the human experience that we came here to have. And there's so much beauty in the awakening and so much pain. And, you know, to savor all of life. At the end of life, it's like, if we zoom out, how present were we with it? How much did it distract us from our heart? How much did it bring us into our heart? How did the pain crack us open in new ways? It's all of it. And I've started to see it a little differently. I'm not so much seeing right or wrong anymore as I am seeing shift. Let's shift. Let's shift this piece. This is feeling outdated now. It wants a shift. We've had that experience. Let's welcome in this new one.
Practically speaking, how would that work as an example? Feeling this particular way, let's have this shift.
Yeah. Give me an example of what you're thinking.
Well, I'll tell you, again, like what's top of mind right now in the news.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, but the P. Diddy stuff, it's just like a rabbit hole. And then it gets me back into the 9/11 narratives. And it's like this.
How? What do you mean? P. Diddy makes you think of 9/11? Please go on. I'm very curious what the connection there is, because he's from New York. Whenever I think of P. Diddy, I think of 9/11. Huh? That threw me for a loop.
It gets me back into the 9/11 narratives. And it's like the stuff that's been hiding in plain sight. And so like the one hand, I'm like, okay, like not even that I wish I'd seen it earlier, but like, okay, I'm waking up to this.
To what?
And then it's an us versus them thing, which to your kind of question earlier, it's like that doesn't feel good for me. I don't want to invite that in, that energy into my life. That doesn't do me any good. Who are they and what am I to do about that? Like, so it's like, how do I bring that back? Like, how do I make that shift into not having it be a distraction, like understanding, getting the information, like, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that doesn't line up. That's curious. Okay, don't necessarily think that they're credible.
Yeah. All right, I have a method.
Okay.
And by the way,
Thank God.
let me just tell you, you have not even seen me be angry before, but like a redhead angry is like a real thing. And so I don't say this from a place of perfection. I'm working, you know, on my own energetic field. I have been incredibly feisty in life, still am, but here's what I got. So we're living on Earth, right? And our bodies are a part of Earth. They're a part of nature, Mother Nature. And we're celestial beings that like come through as a soul and into the body, but we are not our body, but our body is what gives us experience and humanity. And when we put on these earth suits, there's a lineage. There's all sorts of patterns and feelings and things that we would perceive to be difficult and things that we would perceive to be gifts and magic. And so we come in and we have a decision. And our decision is to let the earth suit drive or the celestial light body. So
this is giving my husband, who has already been diagnosed at the point of this podcast, is not getting traditional treatment. That's what this is telling me, even more so than I already suspected. Because if you're talking about meat suits and celestial bodies and this, we decide and this, and we're above and the mindset's greater than the matter, you're already off to the races.
Our emotions are valid and they need to be held and seen and witnessed and understood and sit on the bench and be nurtured and babied and given a space to breathe, whether it's through crying or breath. But it looks very different when they're being held versus when they have the driving wheel, right? So it's really about seeing who's got the wheel, who's driving the seat. And as a society, we're collectively becoming more and more aware to parasitic thought forms and patterns. And they're tricky and they hide. They hide, right?
And they're addictive.
And they're addictive. So it's just about, if you can do nothing else, just invite in, I invite in God, you know? God is my partner, God to do the dance with me, my higher self, my celestial light body to come in, be present, bring me clarity, and just start there. It's a practice. It's a practice. We're all practicing. You know, there's.
So I'm upset about P. Diddy. So what am I supposed to do? Ask God to drive the wheel?
No.
Huh?
I don't know. Gone are the days of gurus, honestly.
Hell yeah.
It's just all really practicing and realizing.
I changed everything I said about her. I like her now. She said, gone are the days of gurus. Yes! Woo, woo, woo. Kimberly, we support everything you believe. Just kidding.
Our humanity, and it's very humbling.
Why do you think the days of the guru are gone? Do they all kind of get a little drunk with power and it just kind of, not all, but most?
Yeah.
I just feel that I've done energetic work on a lot of gurus. And
which ones? And what do you mean by that?
We all have our shit, you know? We just all have different offerings. For example, I was here in your house yesterday and we had this really beautiful honoring of our friend because all of her children are now out of her house. And we call that empty nesting. Yesterday, we were calling it a free bird phase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to tell my kids to always live with me if they want.
Yes.
But I was having this revelation, you know, I'm so much in my gifts and my magic and so much in my shit and difficulty this year. Like I've never had a harder, more difficult year. And it brought up so much of my internal panic, so much of my survivalist needs. And it was a tough year. And I've also never been more in my magical divine channel. Like, and it's,
if you were to be in therapy, they might be able to tie a little line between those two things, that your loss of control is creating this need for you to pretend you're a magical fairy being that's communicating with Egyptian goddesses in the sky. There might be a connection there. It's a stress response maybe, but whatever. You don't believe in that, I guess.
It's been really an incredible awakening for me. But yesterday I was looking around and I was just witnessing how each one of my friends in this beautiful sisterhood that we've created has so much magic. For example, your wife, Peyton Callahan, watching her go into her divine channel, she's got these loving hands and she walked our friend through something so sacred, and the way that she is so masterful in people's transitional times, whether it's starting a cycle, having a baby, going through perimenopause, you know, children leaving, the way that she so masterfully walks somebody through those portals with her hands, with her words. I was like, whoa. But I also know Peyton's humanity. In that way, she's a guru. In other ways, she's a human. But now we're looking at like the whole person, right? So I'm looking at my whole person. I've never been more in my magic. I've never been more in my shit. You know, and that goes for all of us. And I was looking at another friend of ours. I'm like, gosh, that magic channel is on point. And I know all of her shit too. And I started walking through and I was looking at everybody's. I'm like, we all have a guru in us. Everybody has some magic to them. It is also part of our birthright and our humanity. And we're at various levels in awakening to whatever our magic is. Right. And there's always somebody that's going to come in and it's going to give you a little piece that's going to shift something for you and awaken you in a different way. Maybe it's your podcast. Maybe it's Tony Robbins. Maybe it's Oprah, you know, but there will be a lot of people in your life, if you're paying attention, that will offer their magic and awaken something inside of you. And you'll be in your own magic. And then you awaken. And you're like, we're all human and we're all magic. We're all celestial light bodies and we're all in earth suits. I just also with the news, I think it's sort of ruining the legend for us a little bit, like going to P. Diddy. How much fun did I have? Driving in a car, listening to Diddy, you know, having fun, dancing at the clubs. And now I'm like, ugh, what kind of frequency was that I was like dancing to? And, you know, I don't know. It's just, it kind of is a time that's very humbling and.
But what about 9/11? How does it all connect?
It's a bit of a reality check.
It is. It is very humbling. It's like, oh, I thought I knew a lot of things. I don't know shit. And I mean, for me, like my kind of greatest awakenings come when I'm at that kind of 0 point of like, I don't know shit about anything. And then I'm like,
we
open.
Can tell.
Okay. The biases, the prejudices, whatever are out the window. And I'm just able to receive and then hopefully like intuitively feel into what feels right and what doesn't feel right. And when I'm not in that, it's just very black and white. And I mean, I grew up very black and white. And I think part of my greatest growth has been living in this gray area. And I fall back into the black and white. There's comfort in that control of knowing, but ultimately underneath that is just fear. And it's like, I don't really know. I just am telling myself on some level that I know what's going on, where ultimately I know I don't know shit and I'm just scared,
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually pretty accurate confession, which I appreciate, surprisingly. Now, does he adhere? Probably not. But I think that is what it is. That's what both of these people are talking. They're just two people who are scared. And this is how they're dealing with it. And how everyone, everyone's acting, and they're trying to keep that at bay at all times, I think. And everyone deals with it differently.
Listen, I used to be like, all school is prison, and I don't know, just so in my ways. And that's okay. But
Yes.
what if it's not for everybody? What if some people are like my daughter, and it's this magical place to be and thing to do, and it's so exciting, and you learn so much, and you have so much camaraderie and friendship and fun, and you're learning new things you never thought you would know about, and you actually enjoy the study. I'm getting my fucking glass broken big time this year. Yeah. And that's cool. Like, let me be wrong about so much.
Perfect example of our kid.
I appreciate her letting her kid go to school. And it sounds like her child is extremely grateful to be able to go. So I'm glad that she allowed it. But it's weird that she'd be angry about it. She's like, oh, my glass is broken because my kid wants to go to school. It's like, that's a great sign that your kid's going to be fine in life.
These are our greatest teachers. It's like right there. Just when, again, like I said, I really against the school system. Plenty. It wasn't dissimilar to your daughter. I really thrived there. I loved it. I loved the social aspect of it. I loved the game of getting good grades and playing that. And
me too, honestly.
It was a means to me to go to
I miss it.
Really, a great college, to play hockey for another 4 years and to do some other things.
Did you enjoy it?
I did.
You loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I see with my kids, varying degree, I don't see it serving them in the way that people believe that it should. And I think that's where it's like, for me, it's like, I see behind the curtain. I understand the DNA of why the school system was built.
Yeah.
As you mentioned earlier, to create these, factory workers, dumb everybody down.
As opposed to what? If we did not have school, you think people would be smarter on the whole? No, they would not be. So I don't know. People look down, again, they're coming from a perspective of, we have money. We can start our own school in our backyard because my wife is here. She can teach, and she went to a traditional school and has the ability to teach our kids whatever nonsense we want. It's like, take that element out of it. What is your alternative plan? Not have school? Are you insane? Or only let rich people have school and the people who can't afford it don't get to go? Like, they're only thinking about it from their own perspective. And he's saying he enjoyed it. And her daughter enjoys it. So it's not even about hating it or not hating it. It is what you make of it. And we need education. I'm sure these people would love it to be like, you know what? Some kids who are low poverty, levels, they should just work construction. They should start when they're 10 because we can get them into the crevices. Like, that's essentially what you're saying. Because if they're not in school, what are they supposed to be doing? Making your homes better, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, digging the trenches outside of your mansions.
Get him into the workforce and just a cog in the wheel. And I see that. I see how this is set up. And so for me, particularly with my younger two kids, Bowen, who just graduated from high school, and Hope's a senior, I tried to just express to them, like, A, you are not your grades. B, this is a game. Neither of them really love school.
Yeah.
So it's like, just like put in some work. Like, that's a skill I think is very valuable. Work hard, but don't get caught up in so much of this. And this is where it's like that like, I got to be careful how I articulate it in some ways. It's like, it's all bullshit on some level.
It is. And here's the thing about being so careful with how we articulate. I mean, that's the part of society I would love to just kick out the window, because I think where evolution and growth is where curiosity is, and conversations, and the ability to be wrong is so huge because it means you've explored. And maybe you're wrong with somebody and you're right with somebody, but we have to explore our curiosities. We have to explore our curiosities. And the seeds that some of these...
Yeah, but you can't explore curiosity like literature. For example, if you don't know how to read, if you can't look at an alphabet and know what the words are, that's where it all starts. So you need the foundation. You need to give them that foundation while they're ready to absorb. I wish I played every single sport when I was a kid and did every single activity, because it's so much easier now as an adult to go back to stuff I did as a kid versus starting something new. So if you were to wait a super long time because you're a child and you just want to play all day and that's what your mom's letting you do, and now you're 12 years old and you haven't read yet, you know how much infinitely harder it's going to be to get caught up and to start something? You limit your choices in life. It seems obvious. And again, the only reason that they're able to have multiple choices is because they have generational wealth already that they can fall back on, so they don't have to work if they don't want to. And that's what choice is, but that's not what you should be wanting for the whole society, quote unquote.
Systems we're built on are outdated. And while somebody may be able to thrive in it, is there a better way? Is there a way that...
And why don't you get involved in the government then? How about you run for office and advocate for change? No, all they want to do is take their kids out and give them their version of education and leave everyone else to suffer in their eyes. Because you could work on reform if you want to. You could get to the Department of Education or be protesting to not close it down. But no, you're going to sit on your ass in your mansion and just bitch about it on a podcast with someone who agrees with you on 100% of the things.
Is more heart expanding? Is there a way that is more tender on Mother Earth? Is there a way that would feed us and nurture us differently? Let's look at school lunches. Yeah. Is that nurturing the human body beautifully? Are kids learning what it's like to hold your food, appreciate it, grow it? Are they learning those things in school? Olivia's school has beekeeping classes after school if you want to take them. So maybe, and maybe not. But I think that our collective one consciousness is...
But again, that is the perfect reason to put more money and more effort into schools, not villainize them and say we should close them all. Right? It's not the school itself. I have tons of opinions about this. I also think the same thing with other public services. I won't get into it, but more money typically would be better. I feel like schools do the best they can, and especially when it's tied to property taxes. It's the good schools are in the good neighborhoods with the good families who don't need the support as much, and the ones that are not get the shit end of the stick. And that's the problem. Partly, it's complicated.
Listening. And you're starting to see little shifts. And so just as much as we're wanting to tear down, which is important, equally, looking at some of the beautiful things, like California just banned 6 different unnatural food dyes in school lunches. How about that? How about
that? They moved to Texas. How about that? They moved to Texas where they don't have any laws.
Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
Signed off on that.
Wow.
That'll be, I don't know. I hope I say his name aligned with more beautiful things in the future. He has not been my favorite, but that just happened.
Didn't he just sign into something where you don't have to have an ID to vote? I think that just came out yesterday.
Did he also?
So there's that. Anyway,
Listen,
but
all
I hear
know
you.
is Gavin Newsom.
But let's celebrate the wins.
Yeah. So it's like being in the all of it and not going so far down into the rabbit hole that you can't even come back up, right?
Yeah, because you lose nuance.
Yeah.
To that point right there. Like everything he does is shit. No, he signed this. Whatever his motivations are, he did the thing that you wanted him to do.
It happened. And that's unfortunately, I think, so much what our political system does is we don't look at nuance anymore, and we're not having conversations. It's like if your political party makes a decision, they sort of claim that decision, and the other one then, by not wanting to be like them, claims the other way. And it's like, I feel like so many of us agree on so much more than we're actually discussing.
Yeah. There are some issues that they are so incredibly nuanced that it's hard to come to an agreement on, because there's always some stuff.
Yeah.
Like
But
9/11 and the P. Diddy controversy, the crossover that no one's talking about.
I think I agree largely. Like our food should be safe and clean, like our water.
Okay, you say that, but then you support, I'm not saying them specifically, but people who are like you and talk like you and are in the circles you're in don't want EPA. They don't want restrictions on factories being built and tapping into the water system and all these things. They want open, no regulations, yet you want water, but then you don't want the FDA involved in your shit. It's like you're confusing yourself and you're confusing the world because they go back and forth constantly.
Like these things, like that is not political. Yet it's
you literally have an unregulated supplement on your table in front of you, and yet you're saying we want it to be clean. It's like, who is going to determine it's clean if you don't want any government regulations? Thank you.
Political.
And I think most people want their kids to eat well, be thriving and healthy, right? And they want access to healthy food. And, you know, I said it and I'll say it again. A couple of years ago, somebody was like, if you could tell everybody one piece of advice, what would you do? Like, grow a fruit tree. You know, in 7 years, you'll have more than enough for your family. You will have enough for your neighbors.
Yes, of course. Everyone's got property and land where they can grow fruit trees. Great advice.
And the neighbors on this side, and maybe even the whole neighborhood. You know, if just everybody grew something, then everybody could come together and share food. It's so simple.
So simple.
Sometimes
just
it is
get a property. Just own a property. That's so simple.
Simple.
Well, and you recently really shined up that green thumb of yours, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm all about my chickens right now.
Okay. Well, I'd love to. I mean, Peyton and I, we came over. We were invited over. Had this beautiful tea ceremony, but I got to experience your garden, and it is magical, and it was really inspiring. Like,
it only costs $4 million. Everyone should do it. It's so simple.
oh, this feels like it needs to be a part of what we're creating and who we are. And
exactly. Where's her free? She's giving it to our other rich friends. Oh, here's a tomato. Betsy from Pilates. I'm sure she's not, giving it to everyone in the community.
Kind of simple step in that direction. You know?
Cal, we're kind of neighbors.
We sure are.
And so maybe we should have a discussion about food sovereignty, because I know that our friends might be buying the place next to us and we love our neighbors, right? And we're thinking, who's going to get the A2 dairy cow, right? I got the eggs.
Yeah.
I got the 4 fig trees, the 2 peach trees, the pomegranate tree. Like, these aren't producing yet, just starting to. 2 pear trees, but like, what are you going to contribute to the food?
Not a pig.
Not a pig.
She is our pet. If that's what you're alluding to.
Maybe your contribution is holding the ceremonies, and you do that, right?
Sure.
And you hold us in so many beautiful ways, but it's about coming together as a society again. I really think it's huge. And saying, do we all need a sauna? Can we all just have like one sauna?
Oh my God, she's such a person of the people.
And we have one gym amongst the 5 households here. And can we be together just a little more?
It creates what you were talking about earlier, that village.
Yeah. Can we?
Yeah, it sounds like a school. It sounds like a place where lots of people go and use resources. It sounds like a school that you think is a prison.
All maybe do.
She only wants it with rich people in her neighborhood. So it's exclusive still. That's the difference. It can't just be for everybody because that's gross.
Dinners together on Thursday. So that day, not everybody's cooking and we rotate who's cooking. And on Thursdays, it's more about togetherness and one person cooking. There's so many ways that communities can get together and explore with curiosity ways to live differently. And, depending on your urban lifestyle, your rural lifestyle, where you live, different things will be possible. But everybody can grow something, whether it's, some thyme and rosemary in your windowsill with grow lights because you don't even have a window or trees.
Yeah, that's me. I live in a cave. I need a grow light.
What is your favorite part about having that garden?
Talking about it and bragging about
Or maybe
it.
what have you learned about yourself?
Well,
on podcasts.
I definitely have a favorite part about the garden. So my favorite part about the garden is that I've been working through grief and exhaustion, right? And it's been so deeply healing to me because I moved my chickens into the garden. So they're eating most of my harvest. And it brings me out to the garden, or it brings me outside. And so instead of feeling like I'm always needing to go check out somewhere, I'm really checking in instead. So I've trained myself, instead of checking out, go to the garden. So if I'm feeling like I'm going into an old pattern or habit, I just pull myself together and I go walk outside. And there's something about the natural light that pulls us out of a screen, that pulls us out of, artificial lighting. And it's like a magical connection to earth. It's a magical wake up. I often go barefoot, and
he's like, me too. I love being barefoot. I love it. Look at my feet right now. My favorite way to be.
Just feels really good. And I just feel myself vibrating differently inside. Yeah. And I'm there in the morning. I'm there in the evening, and I see the daylight changes, and I'm there throughout the day if I can.
Have your kids engaged? I guess each probably has their own relationship with it, but what have you seen from them?
Yeah, I have some kids that are uninterested, and I have some kids that are very interested. Like Amelia, my 8-year-old, she is such a wise one, and she noticed it was really difficult to get one-on-one time with me. She's one of 6.
Damn.
So she, in all of her intelligence, was like, Mom, I think I found a way for us to have time together.
Aww,
just us,
sad.
and often. I was like, what? She's like, when I get home from school, I'll go to the chickens with you. So every day after school, we go to the garden, and I'll give the chickens whatever scraps have happened from cooking that day, which has them all convene over here, and she'll go get the eggs. We'll have a little talk on our walk. We'll have a little talk on our way back. And the connection that we have now is so much deeper. So I'm grateful for her for that. And yeah. My son's pretty great about going out there and changing the water and the food. And there's an awakening. Like if my kids are sick, I have a couple kids that are home today not feeling very well. And naturally, they're just going to want to watch movies.
Yeah.
Right. But, there's a little bit of a balance. But I'm like, no, you need to have natural light. Go in the hammock, or go in the hot tub, or go to the garden, or lay next to the window, sleep, rest, have some tea. Maybe a movie, but like connect with.
The irony is that her husband is an actor. No movies. You must be outside in the hammock, in the hot tub when you're sick. Okay, I guess, whatever, I suppose.
Source, connect with that frequency, connect with Mama Earth. There's so much there. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So the garden has like changed my life, actually. Yeah.
Wow.
And when you eat something that you grow, I mean, there's nothing better than sage from the land that you picked, or rosemary, or being like, you're not feeling well, I got thyme, sage, rosemary, all these herbs. They're so powerful.
That's my thought, that she's given her husband, and I don't know for sure. I'm just, again, speculating. Based on how she sounds, he probably was being healed by the herbs and not by medicine, I'm going to guess.
They're medicine. So, but when you grow them, they grow for you. So when you touch them, a lot of people will put seeds in their mouth and then they'll plant them.
Oh.
Yeah, because you're informing the seed to grow for you. What's happening in your body and your DNA.
What?
Yeah. So, when you go to the grocery store and you're purchasing fruits and vegetables, you can always do a blessing that helps them, it brings them into your energy. Take a moment, which honestly, as a family, I need to get much better with, because this is so important to me and we don't have a routine around it. Right. But
about talking to your vegetables at the grocery store, I think your family's going to be fine.
Yeah. But when it comes from your garden, it just hits differently. Yeah.
And when it comes from your garden, it hits differently. I mean, I remember just like snacking on all the different things. It was so cool.
So fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, during that day, that visit, you, would you say hosted a tea ceremony? Is that proper?
Poured tea?
Yeah, you poured tea for the 4 of us, and that was beautiful.
Amazing.
And then you introduced me to some of the work you've been doing. I'm like, what is this?
I don't even remember what came through.
It was fascinating. And I'd love for you to just share like what that experience has been like for you, what it is, how it came through in the first place, and then obviously what's the amplification in the other channels that have opened up since.
Well, yeah, I'm coming out of my spiritual closet over here. It was about 15 years ago when I was pregnant with Olivia, 14 plus, that I started having super psychic dreams. Like that would let me know when people were going to pass, would let me know dates of different occasions. People would come in and give me very specific information. Interestingly, like famous people that I didn't know would come into my dreams and tell me intimately what was happening in their life. And I started to reach out to people, and it was bullseye accurate. And in the dream, I would give them advice. And so that was a really wild experience. And I don't know why it was always famous people, but maybe if they weren't famous, I wouldn't know how to find them, you know?
Okay, so she's insane.
So that was interesting. So I started to pay a lot of attention to my dreams, and it took a long time to believe that that was actually happening. But time after time after time after time, you're like, okay, there's something here.
Again, why do these people think they are so special? They are not special enough that they get $1 million properties, that they have kids healthy, that they can do whatever they want with their life. Now they also get special information from God, from somewhere, that they're going to predict people's illnesses in their dreams of famous people.
And then I started to open up to that world a little bit. What are we drinking?
Oh, this is called Update. It's a caffeine-free, sugar-free energy drink.
Okay.
In a nutshell, caffeine is 3 metabolites.
Okay.
One is called paraxanthine, and the master formulator, Sean Wells, who was just on the podcast, he isolated that, and they used that.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, and it's even better when it's a little colder. Sorry, it's been out for a little bit. The other 2 metabolites are
Start chugging the opioids.
theobromine. So the
Theobromine is incredible for allowing the body to just relax and calm.
Yeah, and so with its within caffeine, it can create the jitters and the crash. And I believe the other one's called
The other thing is, I agree. It's like always famous or important people. Also, I don't know if she's got I'm a past life person. She probably is. But it's always, I was Cleopatra. You guys, I was Cleopatra in a past life. I was told this. It's always someone famous and known to everyone in the world now. It's not like, yep, I was a housekeeper in 1749 in Bosnia. You know, it's never like some rent. It's like always like, I was Queen Elizabeth. Okay.
theophylline, and that can give people nausea or diarrhea. So they isolated the paraxanthine, which is the energy flow focus.
Okay.
No diarrhea.
And it's honestly just like super clean energy that lasts 3-4 hours. It's a real gentle on-ramp, gentle off-ramp. There's no crash. There's no jitters.
It's my garden.
Chug it.
There you go.
Garden or this, you know?
So yeah,
Beautiful.
I've been a lifelong coffee guy.
Cool. Don't care. Mommy with Mandy. Thank you so much. Mommy with Mandy says, I hate gardening. I convinced myself this meant I wasn't spiritual enough. Now when I feel funky, I take a nap. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I had a garden at one point and I did enjoy it, but it was hard. And I got a tomato to be about this big, and then that was as big as it ever got. But the rosemary grew and the mint grew, which was nice. And I love mint. But it was hard. It was very, very hard. And yeah, I think I would enjoy it more if I had more energy, I guess, or patience. I think it's a lot of patience. But I don't think you must learn how to garden. You can just hire a gardener and plant the trees in your yard. Duh, so easy. This is what I have to say.
Jeez, this is so good. The best, goodest, good girl you ever met in your life.
The best, goodest, good girl you ever met in your life had a garden.
They act like they do no harm. They act like they're positive. And this is what they're up to.
These people are con artists.
Anyone who says gardening's easy,
But also,
they're lying. Okay, last thing.
That's gross, TBH.
True. Thank you, Moment with Mandy. I call you Mom with Mandy. Moment with Mandy. Sorry. Mom with Mandy. Sorry. Moment with Mandy. Apologies. I can't read. I hadn't gone to school until I was 27 years old, so I'm just learning.
I have dyslexia so bad.
Okay, back to it.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, in my best years, 1 cup a day. My struggling ones, many more.
Yeah.
And I've been off coffee for 3 weeks, and I don't miss it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
3
Wow.
weeks.
Do you drink this in the morning?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I have 2-3 during the day. Sometimes today I'll probably have 4.
Well, I'm
Sometimes
going to
I'll
tell you how
kinda-
I feel after this.
Well, the beauty is, along with, so you got this unlearned optimization kit with all these goodies of
Ooh.
either brands that I've invested in or brands that I partnered with.
Hurry
Update
up.
is a new partner, and they're going to drop ship you their variety pack.
Oh, hey.
How about that? Yeah.
Cool.
So you get more stuff coming.
We'll do tea ceremonies with updates.
Is it coming from Alibaba then? Great.
Okay.
Or maybe just give a quick synopsis of what a tea ceremony is, because I think that's probably pretty foreign to a lot of my listeners.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll go back to the other stuff.
Of
See,
course.
we didn't stay focused.
Now that we have the update, though, now we're back to
Now we're
being
getting focused. So a tea ceremony, there are many ways to drink tea. And there's a specific way that I learned called cha dao from this man Wuda. And he's a Zen master. And so it was a ceremony created with bowl tea for just dropping into yourself and Zen. And it's very nurturing. I have my own unique spin on it that I like. And there's other ones that I serve called Gong Fu. They've been doing it in Asia, specifically China, for so long. And in China, there are no rules around it. But so a ceremony like a cha dao ceremony is a little more formal. But I love tea. I love herbs. I love tea plants. And yeah, it's magic. So I was having prophetic dreams. And it took me a long time to really trust them. And
she really did not want to answer the tea question or drink that drink. She wants to talk about her prophetic dreams. She cannot wait.
And I began to do just that. And it opened me up to this whole other metaphysical world, which when you really get into it is quite scientific. But it's not being
She doesn't like science, though, or science class. So she doesn't know, but she believes it's scientific.
explored in that way right now. Although you have people like Robert Grant and people that are looking at it very mathematically, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, totally.
But I opened up to people with gifts, and I went to this guy, Dr. Daniel Ryan in LA, and he's a chiropractor that says he can see what's happening in your body.
He's lying.
And I thought that was really interesting. So I had seen him a few times, and then one time I went to see him. He said, "Let's sit in a meditation together," and I did. And all of a sudden, I saw this spine, like an X-ray in my third eye. And he goes, "Did you see that?" And I was like, "Yeah, but how did you know that I saw that?" And he's like, "That's your sister's spine." I was like, "Okay." It was so clear. So I went home and I thought, I'm going to try this. My friend Peggy's dad is in the hospital. I don't know why. So I'm going to go into a meditation with the intention, after I ask his soul, is this okay? Get permissions. I went in.
She asked for consent from his soul, everyone. So this is not creepy behavior or insane behavior either.
To a meditation.
Again, yes, this is what I'm alluding to with this whole thing. Again, they never said what his treatment was, but based on this woo-woo bullshit, I believe he didn't have anything. Or he did at the end, like Boss Lee did. At the last second, she wanted chemo after she, did non-traditional treatments for 6 months. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, but it's too late. That's possible. And what was this guy named? It wasn't Eamon. Dr. Daniel something, chiropractor in LA. I want to look him up later. We can check him out. I'm sure he's insane as well, it sounds like.
And I sat there for a while, and then I saw in my third eye vision his ribs with a fire underneath, and they charred. And I called Peggy and I said,
"Is your dad's ribs on fire?"
Why is your dad in the hospital? And the words that she chose changed my life forever. She didn't say osteoporosis. The words that she used were, his bones are on fire. I said, okay, thank you. Had this little vision. Then I called.
Okay, thank you. Why is your dad in the hospital? Well, okay, this is a real conversation that never happened. Hi, why is your dad in the hospital? Well, his bones are on fire. Okay, thank you. Hang up. I'm so smart.
Called my kid's doctor, and I said, something's going on here. I need you to send me names of people you can't diagnose, and I'll meditate and let's see what can happen. And so that's how it started. And Cal, it's been wild. It's been wild. And I, 10 years later, am in a deep trust with this gift. I saw something
bad. Why did he have to get colonoscopy then? Why did your husband need a colonoscopy in the first place? You should have prophetically diagnosed him earlier. Yikes.
Very significant on a family member that I was told wasn't true. And that family member is tending to exactly that in a very big way right now. And so I am so deeply trusting of these gifts. And sometimes I will see organs. Sometimes I will see a cell. I was just introduced to filaments last week where I saw this thing and it showed me these filaments and it said, these are filaments not sitting properly in the cell. It's a mitochondrial thing. And I'm like, what are filaments in the body? Get on Google, filaments. There are 3 different filaments in each cell. And like, so then I go and I get on Google and Google starts like teaching me about anatomy and the different visions that I'm seeing and the different cells and the different nerve cells. And I remember once where, you know, I've been learning with the people that have been allowing me to work on them. Like once I was working on somebody and I was like, I'm hearing gallbladder, but I'm not seeing it, which is so interesting because normally I see the organ. And she looks at me and she goes, well, that's because I don't have a gallbladder. That's why you're hearing it, not seeing it. And so it's taken me a long time, but I've really learned to work with this channel. And sometimes
She's very ill. This woman is ill. She needs to seek help and she won't. Because thinks she's God's gift to earth, literally. A healer, a literal healer, and can predict your ailments. This is medical medium's sister. I just want to say, these bones are on fire. Okay.
It includes remote viewing people's memories that are affecting their body field. And some people would call this a medical intuitive, but it's so much more than that.
So much more.
Because it's whatever your field wants to be seen and witnessed and wants to shift. And then I found out that energetic work was just happening. And so I'm now more consciously moving into that. One time I saw a parasite. My friend, she didn't know what was going on with her and just saw a parasite in her field. And the next day she pooped it out. And so then, you know, my dog had worms and the
self-heal and deworming community is pretty amazing. The worms love all body types.
Sound familiar?
It's the full moon. If you think you might have worms, go ahead and have a little ice cream.
She pooped out the worm like Kimberly could see. Great.
Treatment that the vet wanted to do, I didn't want to do. So like, you know, we just sat there and seeing worms in his poop.
Let me go back. She's arguing with the vet about treatment. Not a good sign.
The vet wanted to do, I didn't want to do. So like, you know, we just sat there and seeing worms in his poop every day. And we're like, okay, this is a little negligent. We have to do something. I'm like, let me see if I can meditate with this. And I watched them and I watched them until I watched them leave. And the next day he didn't have worms in his poop for the first time in a couple months.
This poor guy. I mean, he's complicit as well, but you know, I saw someone's comment that said he probably suffered a lot, James Van Der Beek, and I believe it. I probably so.
And then I did it again to another dog 6 months later, and I realized this is real. Like this is actually real. Now I've had doctor confirmations. I have seen in real life with my own eyes. I'm seeing memories, energetics are moving through. And now I'm being introduced to this whole new thing that I didn't really understand before called light language, which now I don't even go into meditations anymore. I utilize light language to read the field, read everything happening in that moment. And
it's rough.
Whoa.
How do these light languages come to you?
They just move through the body.
So there's no like learning them. It is just like it comes through a channel and it's like boom.
Boom. And also my favorite thing right now is to help people open up their own divine channels because we are all so gifted and we're all just awakening to our gifts. I've received information that about 12% of the population can actually witness the organs and see what's going on, and everybody has a different piece of the puzzle. So I do see in the future people doing this in hospitals. I'll give you an example.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did propose this to medical medium. I said, why don't you go to the hospitals then? If you are able to diagnose, why are you going on the Kim Kardashian show and not at a hospital, travel to hospital every single day and give your gifts? If God gave you this gift, you are a piece of shit for not going to the place where people are actually ill. But they're full of shit. They're lying and they know it. And so therefore, obviously, they're not going to do that. But it's like, do you not see that these people are evil? I don't think she's evil necessarily. I think medical medium's evil. I don't know if she's evil. I think she's blindsided by her own farts again. and it's become noxious. What do you say? Toxic, whatever. I'll change the word. Toxic to her. And this is the problem, though. This is the same thing that happened to Boss Lee. She was so convinced of her own strength that she died from it. It's painful. It's hard. That has real consequences. Having beliefs like this have real life and death consequences.
I was told you're going to work in a hospital. I'm like, huh, okay. That week, my daughter was in the emergency room with the top of her finger cut off. I received very specific information about the energetic behind that, how it was tied to her brother. And then this very specific thing happened literally the next day. It was like boom, boom, boom. And so it allows that healing process to be much quicker. And injury and sickness and disease, we can blame whatever systems we want, but we have to take fierce responsibility over our field because they're all just delivery messengers. And this is what I'm learning through like the hardest year of my life, right? Is to accept radical responsibility for everything in our life, even when you don't want to. And yeah, so teaching other people to be in their light language channel has been really beautiful. I was like, I remember people used to talk about speaking in tongues from the Bible. And I wonder what that sounds like. And I got on Google and realized speaking in tongues and light language is the same thing. Yeah. And some people use laughter instead. Some people sing, some people chant. There are different things that happen when we just allow our brain to take a rest and allow the other parts of our knowing to get activated and move through. But the thinking part of the brain, we just need to allow it to take a breath. It gets us through our life. It gets us through our day. It's also a divine tool. But to like have time and space in our life where we allow ourselves to be in these channels. You know, there's
I agree. Her kid cut off her other kid's finger. That we breezed past that pretty quickly. What happened there? Your daughter's got her finger chopped off by your son? What the hell?
the place.
What's going on there?
There are many ways
Get them in school. They need to read. They're bored. They're cutting your fingers off.
to blow our modern day minds. There's a place in Ogden, Utah, where people are teaching a form of Indonesian martial arts to train the third eye. The third eye is magnificent because you can see all the way around you, right? And they're teaching blind people how to count cash, go through obstacles. You know, it's not out of the question.
I think Danny Gonzalez did a video about that and proved that it was fake and bullshit. We can maybe watch it after this. So she's saying they're training blind people in Ogden, Utah, how to count cash.
Because you can see all the way around you, right? And they're teaching blind people how to count cash, go through obstacles. You know, it's not out of the question if you're in Indonesia to see a child reading a book blindfolded completely, because you can train your third eye to see so much.
Totally.
But it's not, I guess it's not what we're teaching in schools. So if I was to rewrite schools, I would say, let's download those.
You don't want kids to read books with their eyes, but you want them to read it with their third eye blindfolded? That's so dumb. You're like, my child shouldn't have to learn the alphabet until they're 18, but I want other kids to blindfold themselves and read books. Okay.
Books. You know, let's see with our third eyes. There are many ways that we can go about this in culture and society, but if I hope to do anything, I hope to break open that sort of rigid idea that we were raised with about what it is to be a human and what our capacity is, because our capacity is huge.
Which is back to that school system, and it's taught to keep us very much in place.
Yeah, but guess what? I went through that school system.
For sure.
And the divine, she is relentless in her awakening. So, you know, it's also just trusting the beautiful unfolding process as well. And the unfolding also works through us, right?
How taxing is this on you energetically when you go into these spaces?
I did my first group healing. And I hate to say healing. Healing is such a funny word because it's really like, again, a dance with somebody's field. And they also bring me to them just as much as I'm coming to them, right? I needed to really rest the next day, but I've also gotten pretty great at grounding the energy. Like I can feel a little bit of like up here in me that feels like a little, and so it's using the breath to ground back into the body. Like I can feel the parts of myself that are a little bit in a panic about saying truths that are hard for some people to hear and judgment. And it's just like, all right, Kimberly, it's okay. Like you're coming out of hiding. It's all right. You know, everybody's got these gifts. So we're all doing it together.
What does coming out of hiding look like for you?
Okay, we're gonna take a short pause. I need to look at this video. I watched this a long time ago. I just thought it was very good. This is called "Influencers Are Faking Mind Powers for Clout." Danny Gonzalez from 2 years ago. Okay, I think they're going to talk about the school that she's mentioning is the real school, not the unlearning, the real learning.
Psychokinesis is real, it's just not good. How about that? Yeah, here's a new take actually. Psychokinesis is real, it just sucks. Okay, but here's where things get even crazier. Here's where the real shit starts, alright? Here's where Caroline travels to the UK to meet with an exceptional group of young children.
Oh, UK. Okay, whatever. Same idea. I think it's the same type of school.
First stop is in the UK, where we encounter children who are using blindfolds to access their superhuman abilities.
What do you mean you just encountered them? You just find these kids?
And now tell me what's on this card.
Oh, tiger.
Isabella, what is the shape and color of this stone?
Kind of like a circle, and it's not really, it's kind of like see-through.
That's right. There's a school in England where children are learning to see while blindfolded. They can make out shapes while blindfolded. They can read with the blindfold on. They can even dodge cones with a blindfold on. And it's not just in the UK, actually. There's another school in Utah that teaches kids how to do all sorts of things blindfolded. But in this school, the instructor is wearing a karate uniform for some reason. Are they also fighting the kids blindfolded? That seems kind of fucked up. The instructor's never even blindfolded. Seems unfair.
Orange, blue, green. Yeah. 8 of clubs, 10 of diamonds, 5 of hearts.
All this seems insane to me. I mean, it definitely gives you...
This is what she thinks is real school. Putting a blindfold on and then looking like this. And going green. What's the point? You don't even need to do that. What's the point? You can see with your eyes. God's gift to you. Your eyes. What is the point? Anyways, Amy, thank you so much, Amy. Amy says, save these kids from her. Put her in a psychiatric ward. She isn't okay. Why did James not divorce her? P.S. My donations are for Tara. Of course. She's sleeping in her little crib. Her little circle crib. You know, he was into this too, so it seems. And he did an interview, which I thought was odd. It was his last interview, I think, with Good Morning America or CBS Morning. And they asked him, what are you doing? And he said, oh, you know, didn't say what his treatment was. And then also, he was super thin. He had lost a ton of weight, and it was obvious. And when the Dawson's Creek musical or something reunion was happening and he couldn't make it, he was sick. He said it was from a stomach bug, and the stomach bug made him lose all the weight. And he said, so not the cancer? And he said, no, not the cancer. And it was like, and he's like, well, having cancer doesn't help. It was a stomach bug though. And it's like, it was this detachment from what was actually going on that it felt odd to me. And maybe we can watch that too. But Amy, this is what I have to say to you.
I don't know if anybody has worked as hard on this topic as I have.
Am I the only one?
That's a good one.
I am the most liberal.
I just liked being able to get away with whatever I wanted.
True. That's for me.
I'm kind of a wild guy.
Okay, back to it. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Tara. She's sleeping though.
Pause. You're kind of like, wait, is this real? Because it's like, sure, they might be able to like memorize the book and then just recite it from memory. That's how they're doing that. But then like, how are they like hopping through obstacle courses? How are they navigating stores with the blindfold on?
How about the grilled chicken and sausage gumbo?
Finally, I could.
He's a little young or a little old to be in the school. And they have to go in a uniform into Walmart and do this? Embarrassing.
And use my mind's eye to locate the chicken gumbo. But then you kind of start to notice that there's something very similar going on in each one of these lessons. Something very subtle. A tiny little baby head tilt that almost makes it seem like maybe they're just seeing through the bottom of the blindfold.
Harry, do I need to come closer?
I'm certain what that is.
Okay, I'll come closer for you.
Yeah, why would they need to physically come closer if it's in your brain?
What does it look like? I'll come closer. It's like a Ow. It is an ow. Fabulous.
So why would she need to come closer if he's just like perceiving it with his mind? So I'm like 90% sure this is what's going on here. In fact, I'm 95% sure. In fact, I'm 100% sure. So I don't know if the kids have just been sworn to secrecy, like they know it's all fake, and the woman who runs the school is just like making sure they keep the secret to the point where even the parents think it's real, or if she's somehow convinced the kids that they really do have this superpower, and that
That's what I think, that they convince them that if you can see it, then you are special, and the kids are like, I'm just gonna squint.
they're seeing through the bottom of the blindfold is just like what's in their mind's eye.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some insane manipulation going on here, some crazy lies, which makes what happens next in the Gaia show even more fucked up.
My longtime friend.
So anyways, that was a little moment away about what Kimberly, and again, if you're just joining, welcome, thanks for being here. This is the wife of James Van Der Beek. I don't have any definitive proof of what his treatments were, but he never said what he was doing. He never was open about it, and she has obviously got a very strong belief about medical treatments, how to heal the body, what we're doing on Earth for, and it makes me wonder if he had nothing done that was traditional.
How do you, when you envision that, what is kind of the next step on that path for you? Certainly sharing this today very publicly is a step.
A lot happens through my throat chakra. So that's the way that I work a lot too, is with sound and energy currents and light language and soul remembrances. And so it's, following a divine path. And for me, this is going to be sharing with people about intuitive parenting, listening to your intuition, opening up your channels, coming together as communities, realizing your divine nature. If we all just like realized our divine nature,
just realize,
and there's, how is somebody
Mikayla Nogueira is outside screaming,
supposed to know that they might have medical intuitive gifts unless I'm talking about the fact that it's possible? I had to sit with somebody that does it and then know that it's possible to realize I could go home and practice. I had to have the blessing of a doctor and family members and friends that were willing to let me look silly for a little bit and be soundboards, So we just all have to be willing to like put ourselves out there a little bit.
Does this look like workshops, retreats, like
Yeah, these are all things I'm doing now. I'm talking to somebody about creating some courses.
God, no! It's so predictable. She's creating courses. Her husband, okay, this is previous to him dying. Your husband just died from cancer. And within a year before that, you're saying, I'm going to create courses to help other people be able to diagnose and heal medical problems. Do you think her views will change? No, I don't think so. She'll just go, oh, his soul contract was up.
And I've definitely started doing group things. There's a group of almost about 50 people. And yeah, I definitely have this like A+ team gently forming around me, which is fabulous.
Right. So fabulous. So amazing.
All highly gifted people. And then we just become pieces to each other's puzzle.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Totally.
And also,
I hope this is free. I hope your courses are free because you just love community so much.
sharing light language. Can I share like a little something?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Please.
Everyone, get ready to receive. Everyone, put your hands at the screen and go, because that's how you receive light language.
Yeah, what my intent will be is just to
put your hands on your hearts, guys.
Share that I see and honor your divine being. And when light language moves through, it's really just sort of the energy that's in the area. So ha katuala tiani am katuala ta katia shanti am katuala ta ni ashanti am katuala ta katiania gonta tiani ala tu ashanti am katuala ta katiania hontiania katua katiani ashanti am katuala tiani ashanti anti ala tu katuala ta katiania katuala ta na hongatiani ashanti am katuala tiani ashanti am katuala ta katiania ashanti am katuala tiani ashanti am katuala ta ontiani an gomba tiani ati ashanti anti ala tu ruani am katuala ta katiania ashanti am katuala ta katiania hongatiani ala tiani ashanti am kutuala tiania shiantian kutuala ta katiania tiala tuturia patia shiantian patuala tiania tia kutuala ta katiania honkania tiania la tuna yala tiania kula tiania pokutwe.
We're getting foreign with it now. She got bored.
Tia tia shiantian kutuala ta katiania polotua tiania tiala tutuania kutuala ta honka tia shiantian kutuala tiania.
Holy, holy, holy.
Now,
sorry.
It's not up to me how somebody receives that. If it sounds like gibberish to them.
No, it sounded
or if it
really good. It sounded really good, girl. Don't even be nervous about it.
Something in their soul, they felt something in their heart. Like, I just really have to be authentic. Lean me. You know?
Yeah.
And like get really good at letting the rest go.
Yeah, so what for someone listening, like what is a light language? Like what
It's bullshit.
because for some people have never even heard that before. I think many maybe have, but I think there's some people on here who've never heard light language.
Well, what I can do is I can tell you my experience with it, right?
Perfect.
So in order to see things, I used to have to go into a meditation. Sometimes I wouldn't start seeing things for like 50 minutes to an hour. Literally one day, one evening, this started moving through me. It was like somebody turned on the faucet and it just didn't stop. And I just allowed it, right? And what I realized is I was receiving information, clarity, and visions right away. So when this channel opened up for me, I stopped needing to go into meditations altogether. Like everything was just right there. And it had a sound current. So it's just reading the totality of what is, and divine invitations work with it. And it's not necessarily like a language that's got word interpretations, but sometimes I will have this deep sense and specific information and knowings coming through that I'll share with somebody.
And did the knowings come through like visually for you, or like coded in words through the language? I mean, I know the language isn't necessarily being deciphered, but like as the language is being spoken, like there are words coming to you? Or?
Sometimes I'll hear things like clairaudience. Sometimes I will know things. Sometimes, interestingly, I'll smell things. It comes through so many different ways.
Her own farts, I'm telling you. She loves the smell of her farts.
How is this?
Seeing things is big for me.
It is.
Yeah, seeing things is one of my main channels, but now like my seeing and my speaking are working together.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
How has this been supportive of you being in a relationship with James and like in partnership?
Yeah, great question. Lord. Yeah, let's answer this one.
And how has it been a challenge? Because I can imagine me with these tools. Like, I know what's going on with you right now.
James has been my biggest supporter.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely been like, maybe we do this privately for a little bit, but yeah,
he was on the money with that one. Save his career.
He said to me recently, he's like, what you're doing is so beautiful, and I just want you to do it in whatever way feels right to you. Like, just know you have my blessing. So it's taken a long time of utilizing these channels, like years and years and years and years of the feedback and seeing how they work and seeing how they operate before it feels like actual, like coming out in a responsible way to share. But it's not unforeseen. There are so many cultures around the world that see and they hear and they speak, you know. You can go into indigenous cultures around the world and they're like, well, yeah, of course. Really? Are you just getting to know this now? You know, and a little chuckle comes with it, but it's new for a lot of us.
For sure.
In this United States culture.
How has it allowed you to become more attuned as a parent? Because you and James are already so like just on a frequency with your kids and intuitively knowing what they need and allowing them to have their experience. And I mean, obviously there's room for all of us, but
I'm going to take myself off the parenting pedestal for a moment. I snapped at one of my children this morning and I was like, okay.
She snapped at them and said, so the kid was like, I'm going to school, which I love. Let me go, please.
You know better than that. You know, we're all in such a deep state of learning. But yeah, my kids are constantly saying like, Mom, I'm not feeling well. Can you check in on my stomach? Can you do this? Can you do that? Like, can you do energetic work on my head? How about my ear? And I do, but now it's shifting to like, I would like to show you how to do this on yourself.
Yeah. Have any of them really taken to that yet?
Well, one of my children, and it's not up to me to speak for them,
Sure.
and say who, but one of my children is highly gifted in this area. At least one.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
At
whoa,
least one.
okay. Maybe you could teach me some things. Yeah.
Y'all have known this for a while too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, whoa. Okay. Yeah. There's a few actually.
Yeah.
Her whole family is gifted beyond this normal realm.
How did Egypt have an impact? Like, I want to just get a broad strokes even of like what this Egypt experience was like for you. I'm not surprised that you and James and to some degree your kids were really called to have that experience.
Yeah.
Just knowing what I know about y'all and Egypt, but also like, what were you most excited about and what were you most surprised with
Yeah, they have 6 kids. One is very young, I think.
that experience?
Well, first of all, we went during my daughter Gwen's 6th birthday, and she claims that every lifetime she has, she goes to Egypt on her 6th birthday. That's what she says.
That's amazing.
So we had a friend, like such a dear friend, that treated the whole family on this trip.
Mm.
And they've been dreaming about this trip for a long time. And
Is it Aubrey Marcus? Because they went to Egypt and had an experience as well.
we both happened to reach out to our friend Matthias De Stefano within like an hour of each other, and said like, hey, we want you at some point in life to take us to Egypt. So Matthias is like, you guys both just asked. So the other friend called me, was like, let's do it together. I'm like, great.
This is this person. I can't read it, but he does master classes. And
you calibrate every cell into the same frequency. And then with your hands, as you move your hands, you direct that frequency towards specific portals.
Yeah. This is a freak situation.
So I was really looking forward to just feeling the energy of Egypt and the people and the food and the temples. It's so much more for me than ancient Egypt, right? Who's living there now? That's also just so important to me. I love culture, and
I love culture.
It's really beautiful to just watch people.
I love culture, especially when I can take it and monetize it for a course that I'm working on and bastardize it completely to what it was meant to do.
And how they're living their lives. And oh my goodness, they live quite differently there than we do here. I would say a lot of people have a lot less. There's not so much consumption happening there.
Yeah, you don't say. They don't have 40 acres.
I would say I would like to see more trash bins in Egypt. But the food, and there's so much beauty in the people and the children, and these temple gatekeepers. Sometimes I wonder if some of them know how significantly they're showing up. But it's just so beautiful. And what happened in Egypt was just a profound, humbling, and divine remembrance. Egypt had such bandwidth for me. I just viscerally felt that we're all one. And I will forever live differently. Like, there have people that I have hated politically or hated, with what they've done in the world. And I just put them all in my womb now. And I'm just like, you're all children of Mother Gaia, and we are all Mother Gaia. So
I put my political foes, I put them in my womb. Okay.
We're all one.
Oh boy.
And once you look at it in that way, you can realize everybody's piece. Oh, you're here to teach me to love myself differently and put a boundary. Thank you for showing me that lesson. You're here to trigger this part of me so that I can interact with it differently. Got it. Oh, my child, you just made me snap. So you showed me where there's still anger lurking in my body and lack of patience.
Crossover episode. Lawson Walk says she might have been in Egypt with Aubrey. This Matthias guy was on Aubrey's podcast. It's a small world. I'm telling you, this wellness world is small, actually.
So, and it's just looking at everything as everybody is here showing me what's in my field and taking radical responsibility over my field. And sometimes that
Radical responsibility sounds a lot like I need to change my mindset to cure myself of cancer, which is a sad thought to have.
means speaking to something, so not bypassing it just because it's in the field, but like speaking. Maybe it does show up as activism in a certain way, or maybe it is just an internal job. I don't know. Like I'm still learning the dance and probably will always be learning the dance, but it's rearranged how I see the world completely. And I had this moment with the Nile where I felt like I had sort of had this really expansive experience going, to creation and really sitting with God, and then really coming back into the body and saying, okay, now it's time to take all this expansiveness and bring it into the body and bring it into my day-to-day life. And how do I show up with the person right in front of me? Right. I had at one point I had my feet and my hands in the Nile, and my hands were just going like this with blue lotus flowers. And I was like, I feel like I'm being rebirthed into my body in such like an ancient and biblical way. And wow, what an experience. But like, okay, when you go back home, how are you checking yourself? How are you, accepting responsibility? And also, how are you honoring yourself and loving yourself? And it's just been such an experience.
And how has the reintegration been?
Wild. Like,
the reintegration, she went on a vacation to Egypt for free. The reintegration. It's going great. Shut up.
Like,
Lord.
I call James every day. I'm like, I am integrating Egypt right now. At least once a day. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Just awakening after awakening after awakening after awakening. And just like, I feel like the whole collective one consciousness is having this beautiful awakening, and I'm just letting everybody surprise me with their divine nature. And it's the coolest thing. Like, I love it. I'm just like, even yesterday watching everybody in their magic, I was like, oh, there's so much magic. It's so cool. If you watch it, if you just wait for it, there is so much divine magic. And we choose.
I think it's just gotta be a coping mechanism, right? This is just an extreme coping mechanism of the rich.
Where we focus, right?
In which that's
so it's cool. I've softened so much, so many of my edges, and other ones have gotten even more fierce. So
oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's a perfect place to wrap. Is there anything else you want to share? Anything that's top of mind for you?
Well, yeah. If everybody can take, if this feels right to them, to just take a moment with their heart energy. And one way to really wake up the heart beautifully is to put your hand on your heart chakra, and you can just rub it a little bit, and you take some breaths into it. You may even find, like, you see how my thumb just started moving? You may just find that your body wants to do something, and to just trust that and to breathe. And so this is a trick if ever you're feeling like upset, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you just take a moment to drop into your heart.
Yeah.
And it's also a really beautiful thing that you can do in the morning, and see if an intention wants to come through for your morning. I do this sometimes in the morning, and I'll hear a word that wants to move through as an intention for the day. And it makes no sense usually. But then at some point in the day, you're like, oh, that. And it helps you like find alignment. So just like a little tiny thing.
Love that.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I love you.
Namaste. Show up. Be present. Don't forget. Ay. Right? That was intense. All right. Well, that was Kimberly Vanderbeek. I think this would do well as a scripted video. A little bit more of a backstory with the whole thing going on, the GoFundMe and all that. So maybe I'll work on that this weekend. I'm finished with my writing class, by the way, and I have, if you want to read my work, it is gory, however. So, and I didn't intend it to be like that, but it just went that way. But it does deal with spirituality and self-help stuff. It is semi based on a true story, but like not really, if that makes sense. It's like a fanfic of my own experience. Yes, I'm wrapping up right now. We're going to cuddle. I swear. You want to say goodnight? Here, we got a fan. Come here. You got to say thank you to Amy. What do you have to say for yourself? Come on. Say your piece. She never wants to say it when the microphone's on. So it is on the Reddit thread, Kia's World Reddit. So it should be now open to the public. Well, I have opened it up to the world so I can post videos there, because private Reddits, you're not allowed to post videos. And the reason I'm doing that is so I can post soundbite clips so everyone can learn where the soundbites are from, because I know that's a big question that comes up a lot. And I think it'd be fun to have a library of soundbites and where they are from. So I'm starting that library collection, and it's going to be on Reddit. I'll show you what it looks like in case you're blind and you don't have your blindfold training up to date. But I would love feedback. I like sharing my creative works. It says members only, but it's not members only anymore, I don't think. And you can join us there. And then here's my writing. Warning, it's dark. And there's Tom. Shout out to Charles Von Chop Shop for making this amazing cartoon of our friend of the show, Tom Bilyeu, who says, Tom Bilyeu only cares about one thing. I only care about the middle class net worth, 400 million. Funny. There's funny stuff going on in the Reddit thread. Also, you could also follow me on Instagram. That'd be really freaking cool too. Here's my Instagram. And thank you. I got to 4,000. This is the biggest Instagram account I've ever had. Did you hear that? Stuff is happening outside. And I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay. What else? That's it, I think. Join the membership if you'd like to. And I'm going to add another name because we got a late bloomer here. So we're going to add that into this song, and I'm going to sing again. And if you'd like to get your name sung, then that's how you do it. You join the Gold Straight Up membership. And if you just want to support my dreams, support my lifestyle, which is very ornate, you can just join the regular membership or just watch the videos. That's all I need. All right. Peace out. Taro, any last thoughts?
Say something. I'm giving up on you.
She yawned. Okay. Yeah, that was crazy. I agree. And thank you again to Amy. Amy, Taro is grifting me donations. Say thank you, Amy. She's purring at least. Mwah. I'll give her a kiss from Amy to you. All right. Toodaloo, everybody. See you next time. Oops. And I'm gonna add healing relat right now. Starry night, sexy. Text me. And I will say, hi, what's up? Rabba Gabor, I'm a whore. I didn't want to tell you, but it's true. Olive Harper, I fart in a diaper. That was also a secret that I did not want to reveal. Here we are, Nicole Campbell. You're a soup in a can, and I'm too hot to handle. Chicken noodle, Oodie Boodles, Rebelette Fuentes. wanna eat a Pez with your body as the shape of the Pez dispenser. Maya Sloan, I promised you I wouldn't say lone, so I won't say lone. I will say I was groaning, moaning, and phoning the sex hotline all the time. But I stopped because I was addicted, and I'm afflicted. Aconzel, could you help me undo this mess I'm in? Don't grin, I'm really in need of help. I just thought that you felt the same. Alif Madison, what about you? Could you help me through this dark time? How about some light language for me, boo? Kim Possible 11, here's a light language transmission. Hala shoo la la loo, gala ba blue blah blue 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 dee doo. Are you healed? Are you holy? Alaska Blood Tundra, are you dirty? Maybe so. I don't know. We're gonna mix it up and go to rap now. Because it's just 9 o'clock and the clubs are open till 10. Let's go. Taro's meowing. Merva Bell 2 is crowning, and she's being rebirthed in the Nile River. Can you believe it? How many lotus flowers did you see in the Nile River? That was probably actually paid for by the resort. Bone Palace Ballet 94. I have something to say. Again, I'm a whore. Hey, no I'm not. I really am the opposite. I tell myself. I'm a prude. And I don't want to be rude, but it's true. Karisota, how about you? Hey, let's go to the zoo and talk to the animals, because light language, it pierces the veil from beast to beloveds. Hannah, did you know that? Did you know that if you go to the grocery store and talk to a tomato, it will be more healthy for you and delicious and nutritious? Start a practice. Amy LX8RN. Oh, that's our fast song. That's a fast one. I'm gonna mix it up again. This is a remix for your friends. Amy LX8RN. Taro is gonna be so happy when she gets her treats in the mail and she gets a new toy. And she's looking at me and she's meowing. She says thank you so much. Lillian Massey. I wanna go to school and read blindfolded, but not read with my eyes. It makes sense. Shan 1989. I can't read because I never learned. I only read in my third eye, 'cause my two eyes don't work when it comes to letters all the time. I have dyslexia so bad. HRDMIO, heard Mayo. I want a sandwich, and I hope you're from Ohio. Let me know. I've been to Cincinnati to watch Rachel Hollis say daddy on stage. I don't know if she actually said that. That's fake news. Heal and relax. I wanna go to bat for healing. It is so freeing to go and speak in a language that's fake. It cured my acne. It cured my eczema. It cured my milk intolerance and everything else. And now I have to say, sha-la-la-la-la-la-loo-la-loo. I am transmitting this for you. Here is real. Shoopla-blooka-googa-dooga-doogie in my boogies. Ka-la-la-la-loo-ka-la. Good night.